Hello. Hello,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to In Depth. We're on episode number 3. Wow.
We haven't stopped yet. This is a really elaborate April Fool's joke.
It's going to be amazing when next year we cancel it.
On April Fool's, too.
Yes. And they'd be like, well, that's the real April Fool's
That
joke.
would've
But then
been
it's
sick.
actually for real
Like
that time.
our 1 year anniversary, and it's just the end of the show.
Yeah. Like,
Nice.
guys, yeah, it was a limited edition run. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for dropping by and showing up. Yeah, so if you don't know what In Depth is, let's talk about that first for a moment. Of course, this is episode number 3. This is a show where NoRegreT and I nerd out over StarCraft replays, and we just analyze the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And
It's actually pretty easy to know what in-depth is.
yeah,
That's what I like about the name of in-depth.
that's I thought of that, actually.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I saw you.
We didn't have a show name, actually, and Jake thought of that.
I thought of it, and then he could count himself like, I thought of this amazing name. Like,
Yeah. I like to take credit.
you did.
But look, it's a super fun show where we just get to kind of like
Yeah, we just do our own
go
thing. you know?
really, really deep. We pause the game a lot. That's been one of the really funny comments that keeps popping up is people like, they need to not pause the game so much.
My favorite things are like the spoilers, you know,
Yeah.
like they're like cover up the
The replay
replay bar so you don't know how long the replay is. It's like, what?
Literally want to know. We're looking for as much information as we can get, and we're like pausing to go over things in depth. So it's like really funny to have people
It's funny, yeah.
saying that is, I mean, there's
And the
so
other
many
complaints
casts
are,
out
like,
there that they can watch.
biasm and shit. I'm like, what?
I don't even get that.
Like we're just
are
casting
we
from a biased
biased?
perspective, like one person, you know. And it's like, well,
Yeah, because we're like
Yeah.
analyzing what they're doing. Like that's literally people complain that
I
we're
think
doing
you
what the
should take
show
an IQ
does.
test before being able to comment on things. Sometimes that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I think we're ready to do this stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. So I guess we'll just talk real quick about what we are going to be going over. The Serral INnoVation game, game number 5 from their WESG bracket. You saw that. I haven't seen that one yet, but you promised me it is very good.
Yeah.
So we'll be going over that first. I think then we will probably jump into Rogue vs. Zest from the Olima League March Finals. That's a very quick one that I just wanted to get your input on. You haven't seen that one.
Yep.
I actually found another game I didn't write down here, a patience game that I wanted to jump into. Again, a real quick one.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
And then we'll have fantasy versus patience, I guess.
Sounds good to me.
And I mean, if we have a ton of time, then we can do some other stuff as well. But yeah, let's get it started.
Sweet. Okay. So
All right.
let's start with this. So. Oh, what is that?
That is that's the thing.
Yeah.
Does it come up every time you go up
Yes.
there? What the hell? Why
Oh,
is
they
it-
can see it too. Okay, good.
hide. Bam.
There we go.
All right.
Nice. We did
Of course they can see it. It's a screen capture. Oh, that's how we draw on the screen, guys.
Okay, well, let's skip past a bit. We can look at the openers. TVZ openers are actually really intricate part of like the game where like if openers go very poorly for Terran, they actually just lose.
Mm-hmm.
So much of TVZ is actually momentum based. It's actually just insane. As someone who's playing Terran as an off race, and if I don't have momentum, I'm just dead.
Yeah.
Like there's creep here. You know, every drop is shut down. I just feel like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, Zerg kind of has its own, almost like, I want to say Zerg has its own watchtowers. You know, these things that, like, once they get ahead, they get further ahead.
Right.
You know, that was one of the complaints about Xel'Naga watchtowers, and one of the reasons we don't have as many anymore is because whoever has map control holds them, and that gives them more power
Yeah.
to stop what you're doing. That's kind of what Zerg does anyway with creep and, like, overlord placement and units all around the map. So, yeah, I totally get
This
you
is
on
really
that.
good, by the way. Like, just doing this stuff. Like, if you see Link Speed is almost done here, that's why he left. Like, he's really good at just the little things. Nice snipe on the Overlord. I actually wouldn't know what this is from Serral's perspective. Like,
No?
you don't see enough that it's 2 Rex, but you know it's a reacted Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really make much sense. I've actually never looked into this build order. It's an interesting build.
Yeah, yeah. Cloak Banshees and Siege Shanks being made here. It seems like... Hold on, though. Can we pause just for a second? Do we have the music too loud, actually? Should I put that down some?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Are the sounds okay?
With what he's doing here and the way he's making just siege tanks and banshees, this makes me think he's going to throw down a third command.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you attack with this, it has to work because you have no production to back it up with, right? So, I don't know. I haven't seen this game yet.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Actually, we don't have an overload here, so we can't tell. Like, if these gases aren't taken, it's even weirder, right?
Yeah.
Like, once you take these gases, you're like, okay, this is going to be some sort of double engineering bay, third base play. But if you see no gases, tanks, and marines like this, it's like, what is this? It doesn't actually make much sense, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can just keep going. What did they say for audio? Music is fine?
Everything's fine. Cool.
Cool.
I should never second guess you.
Yeah, no. My audio technician levels are off the chart here. Okay, so.
And it is a third command. I told you. Look at that.
Oh, you're so good.
Yeah. Well, it
Absolute
just
genius.
nothing else. Absolute genius.
Absolute genius.
My God.
So I actually like this. So he doesn't get stim or anything, but he has double tech lab. So does he have 2 Rexes? He doesn't.
Not yet.
Well, when he does, he can get stim and combat at the same time, which is cool. But this is so weird.
Yeah, this can't be anything more than pressure, right? Like.
Well, I mean, it's committed too, because there's no way to get out, right? Unless he just goes home immediately.
Yeah. It doesn't. Oh, okay. He's gonna try to use this area. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, this is not. This feels like a map-dependent thing now.
Yeah. Very much does.
Okay. I wouldn't have done this if I was him. But sure. 3 drones so far.
Whenever I see things like that, where they're just sitting there and that's it, I'm like, this can't be right.
Yeah,
this can't be the right. This can't be good play,
weird.
right? Is this good play?
What, is he going for it?
Like, you can't just leave units there and be like, okay, my strat is I leave this early game army here and I win.
Wow, that actually it kind of did work though. What the hell?
It was a somewhat
big
poor
mistake,
engagement, I would say.
Serral. There was actually no reason to do that because realistically, this wasn't doing anything anyways.
Right?
Like,
was it? Does it deny any patches there?
It denies
No,
the gas.
Yeah, but no patches.
Yeah, maybe the gases are important. What is he going? Let's see. No, they aren't. They are not important. It's still alive too.
But like that engagement from Serral was quite poor there. This is such a strange game.
Yeah, it's strange.
This is such a weird one.
It's a very map-dependent build so far. Certainly.
Yeah, but like the thing is, I think that if Serral waited till right now and then went up, he could have easily killed that little setup, right?
Oh,
he can see. He just needs vision. Okay, that makes more sense now.
It feels even weirder that he did this. That he moved those banshees away.
Yeah.
Wow, you can save some of the marines. What a god. He's going up for another push.
Like, he's pretty good, but he's not as good as Maru.
I mean, that's true. Okay. So, yeah, this feels really bad for Serral. Just everything is going wrong right now. I feel like I didn't actually watch this replay as in-depth as I did. Well,
that's what this show is for,
that's
actually.
True. That's true.
To watch these said replays in an in-depth manner.
So he's going Hydra, Hydraling Bane. Inno's so passively sitting with both of these armies.
I don't quite understand what I'm looking at.
Like, there's a creep tumor right here. Like, just kill that creep tumor. Do something, right? We're just sitting here. He's like, nope.
Well, this is the second time he's done this now, where he's just kind of sitting on a ledge, and I know that ledges are good and tanks are good on them, but, like, I guess he's denied this fourth, okay, and he denied the gases and a little bit of mining at the third, but, like, to just make an army and sit it out there, like, the amount of games I see people lose when they do moves like that, you know?
Right.
It's because if you just leave your army there and it's not being active anyway, it's just holding a position, that can't be something that you do for very long.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He's not. There's no object. Like, it's still sitting here.
Yeah. Eventually, you're going to go up and kill that all.
He doesn't have combat shields yet. So, I mean, I don't know.
The thing is, he's not adding anything to
like
it either.
If Serral just jumped on one of these flanks, like, this flank would be dead so fast, it's not even funny. Like, it's 8 Marines and 2 tanks.
Who wins this game? This must be INnoVation, right?
Yeah. I mean, so far it's not, blatantly obvious that either player is winning. I would say INnoVation's in a good spot, but also his army composition's not great,
Yeah.
Like, there's no Marauders. It's a heavy Marine tank.
And he keeps on just making outposts of Marine tank. So,
like, this outpost is still here.
what is this outpost doing?
Oh, What is it going to do, you think? Is it going home?
He must have forgotten that that was there.
I guess. Like, as soon as he realized it's there, he's like, oh, this is still alive?
Is that area that important? I mean,
he just left, so obviously not.
Well, eventually you have to leave, right? Because it's just going to get cleaned up.
Yeah, even now I feel like Serral's in an okay spot. Like, supply-wise he isn't, but Marine Tank is actually really inefficient. Marauders are so good when they're added in the army
What's his
composition.
drone count at? 75, yeah. Yeah, no,
And
I like it.
the creep is...
And Lingbane Hydra.
Why are we clearing creep like this? It's right here, man. Oh. Serral went to clear that.
Well, Inno's
outpost.
max with 2-2. That's like, hold on. This isn't the INnoVation that I know. The INnoVation that I know does a full maxed attack at 2-2.
He probably will, no? Well, 3-3, yeah.
Well, he should have already moved out, I feel like.
Okay, now it's the time, I guess. Oh my god. Mistakes from Serral? Can it be?
Since Serral was last year's news, it's all about Mario now, okay?
What is that? I guess that was supposed to be a run by, but, you know, there's a depot wall. So, can't really do anything. But yeah, this is good. His positioning this entire game has been really good. Like, we're making fun of him for just kind of chilling, but he is, like, being extremely patient and methodical with his positioning.
Well, this positioning specifically against Lingbane Hydra is so strong, and the fact that his Spire just finished, so the Broodlords are so far off, like, just forcing an engagement here is so good for INnoVation.
Yeah. I mean, you want to replace your Marine with, like, Marauder Marine, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Look at how many tanks that is.
Yeah, it's quite a few.
At the same time, if you lose this army, I feel like can't come back because of how many tanks there are there.
Well,
like, if he loses 10, 15 tanks, like, those are not easy to replenish.
This is kind of interesting. You know, like the 2-factory siege tank, I think when Lingbane Hydra really first started getting strong, this was very clearly what you were supposed to do against it, right? You add your second factory a little bit earlier than against other builds, and you just hit this massive tank timing before they really have enough.
Even this fight, I feel, is not that bad. He does. Wait, why isn't he more blinding clouds? Is he out? No, he's not out. Right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. He has 3 more blinding clouds.
Huh.
Wait.
Well, maybe the Marines zoned him out of those back 2 tanks because all the front tanks did have blinding clouds a moment ago.
I mean, this is just the most scrappy fight ever, though. Like,
yeah.
We've got, what, 15 Hydras fighting here. These Banelings aren't doing anything. These Banelings aren't doing anything. This army's not doing anything, and there's no blinding clouds. So I guess he might retreat now.
Yeah.
Okay. Very scrappy, but I feel like he actually could have won that fight if he had blinding clouded. What's the economy?
Greater
like
Spire is about
Income?
to finish up. I mean,
he's still ahead in economy, actually. Greater Spire, yeah, he could just be trying to wait for it, but it's not a, easy task. If you lose this base, it's pretty bad. He does have one more coming up, though.
do you think you should leave those 2 siege tanks, that little group of Marines right there?
Yeah, just leave everything and just like this much, and then go and then leave with everything else.
And then go do something else.
PP.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3-3 now.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine for Inno though as well. Like just waiting for 3-3 and chilling.
Yeah.
Like he's just clearing creep and pushing the narrative, you know. Like you're gonna have to attack into this eventually. Though Serral does have the army to deal with it.
I mean, the blinding clouds come down this time.
Yeah, he does get full blinding clouds, but that was a pretty bad fight here. Only 2 tanks remain now? 3 tanks? 3
Yeah,
tanks.
I think it's 3.
Oh, it's 4
unless
now.
we have one up top.
Even now, though, like, you see this like Marauder ball that's picking off all these units. It's actually so hard to kill these Marauders.
Yeah.
Like, Banelings are terrible. You don't want to send like 5-10 Banelings forward. Hydras are okay, but you have to be in range of the siege tanks. Like, this is like essentially the perfect fight for Inno, where he's just sitting back on these tanks like that are all spread really well, clearing creep and trading army for essentially nothing.
Yeah.
Like, these are the same Marauders. If you look at the fucking... Let's look at some of these tank kills. 11, 15, 13, 12. Nice blinding clouds, but...
You know, the thing that I'm interested here, because, yeah, like this kind of end game from Inno is, like, really, really good. He got the good unit comp. He kept the pressure really heavily on, but the way he got here is a little bit confusing to me. With the outposts, like that initial attack, like when he was going Banshee, Tank, Marine, I looked at him like, okay, I mean, you can do a little bit of pressure with this
It's just weird too.
I think you're right, though. It is map dependent,
it's map
specifically.
dependent, 100%. You would never see like this weird 2-tank marine push if it couldn't
Yeah.
hit this
Yeah, if it didn't hit that mineral patch.
because it's just bad. It's really just bad. But if you can sit here where there's like no real attack path here, right?
Yeah, like Lings can't even get on top of that.
Let's pause this. I'm gonna do the thing. So here, like this part is really sick. If you put your tanks here, you've got all of this time to shoot them, right?
Yeah.
So when you're coming up here, you've got all this time to shoot. Queens can't get in range here, right? So queens have to come up this ramp as well.
And he kept the creep back. The creep was literally only right there, right?
So when this stuff comes in, there's this here and like here. And it's just terrible fight if you have your marines here. So like almost no matter what this tank marine, even if it dies, it's going to trade well.
Yeah.
And on top of that, whoops, it does deny some mining as well. So you're kind of forcing them to come into you no matter what.
Yeah.
It makes sense on this map, but doesn't make sense on any other map. And then from that point on, he's just been literally controlling the game with all these tanks. I think he's just been pumping tanks this entire time, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I think
beginning.
he made tanks almost nonstop, and
he
did have a good
he actually
second
did,
effect
right?
timing.
Because he never swapped this tech lab. Remember I was talking about how you could swap it and have combat and stim? He's actually just never swapped the factory off of the tech lab.
My God.
So he's just been making it since the very beginning of the game.
Pretty much.
And he's been keeping his tanks. We haven't seen a single time where he like goes out and loses all of his tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just been keeping the same tank count and pushing the, the narrative where I do think Serral's been botching a lot of these engagements. He could have possibly waited longer. Like this base, you're obviously going to give up eventually. Just try and hold on as much as possible. Never take a full engage and go to Broodlord.
Mm-hmm.
He literally had the Greater Spire too. So like there's no reason to really rush into it. And now it feels like it's too late, right? Because this army could actually just trade for this one.
This is like really kind of interesting because, I mean, obviously from here this is looking like an INnoVation victory. Serral's got almost nothing left. I almost want to just jump back actually to the actual 2 siege tanks where they were, because this is making me think of some interesting things about this matchup and some other games that we've seen in the past. Like, do you remember? Of course you remember the because we did some of the replays of it together. The Maru versus Rogue series from last year.
Yeah.
And do you remember the Catalyst game specifically, where Maru just sieged his tanks like below the middle ramp?
Yeah.
And so units could not defend the third, and he killed it.
Yep.
And it was like, oh, that's broken. What the hell? Like, how do you stop that? Like, that's impossible. No Zerg's ever going to win here again.
Right.
And now that we're kind of sitting here and look at this and talking about this, this is so interesting. Hold on. I want to, because the build did look so weird, right? He's only on 2 gases. He's going Cloak Banshees and Siege Tanks and Marines. And the thing is, I looked at it, I was like, this has to be a 3rd command center build. Because when you see those are the units being made, it's like either you are the worst ladder player on the NA server.
That's true.
Or you have to make a 3rd command center, because there's not like a transition where you make Siege Tanks and Banshees and Marines for a little bit, and then you add 2 more racks. And then you add 2 gas and 2 E-bays, and then your 3rd. Like, those things don't exist. That's bad.
Here's the biggest problem, too, with this push, right? There is no retreating. Retreating is so massive for, like, we want to sustain your army. You want to keep it alive for as long as possible. For example, 2-1-1. It makes sense, right? You go out with 16 Marines and 2 medevacs. You can pick up your Marines perfectly, and you just harass as much as possible. This army doesn't do that. It dies.
Yeah.
That is what this army does. This is the only thing it does. It dies. Like, I'm pretty sure
this is like 300 army is what it is.
If INnoVation just sieged up here, like he would actually just kill him with, what is this?
Well, this
8
is
links?
why we were getting confused at the very beginning. It's like, what is he? He has to turn around. Like we rewind. You guys can see. We're like, what's? You're right, because if you
just sieged up here, these 8 lings would actually just kill this army. Like, it's funny because it's actually true, right? Like, it's just so.
Yeah, no.
bad.
There's 4 queens. 3 of those queens have green health. Okay.
Yeah.
This army would be screwed if it sieged
you could even
up right there.
transfuse a couple lings for, like, it doesn't even matter. And then Inno's just like, nah, I got this. He just goes to this weird ass fucking position.
Yeah. You could be attacking his hatchery for half of the battle and still clear this army.
He could have pulled us in drones and shit. Okay, Serral obviously doesn't know about this, right? I feel like this might be the first time he's ever seen it, because I don't know why you just let him, walk here.
This is so funny. Like, look at what we're looking at here.
It's just bad.
He even scans. He like scans it, and then he sieges up, and he gets into his little magic spot.
What the fuck was that scan for, by the way?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Can we look?
He's just, I guess he's seeing if anything's about to hit him right that second.
Yeah, but what would you do? He's like, imagine
it doesn't even matter.
Imagine if he sees the lings running this way. What would he do? He'd just be dead still. So what the fuck?
He
is
would
this
start
gun?
cutting back early. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
like,
really weird.
This army would go back here and die. Like I don't understand. Or maybe you'd just rush up the ramp even faster.
It's almost, you know how like you'll nuke and then you'll scan to see what you're hitting with your nuke? You know what I mean? It almost feels like that where he's like, let me see what I'm about to screw up.
Yeah, I don't get it. He didn't kill a single creep tomb or anything. Also, this feels really weird with the Banshees, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I think he wasn't expecting a Spore to be here.
But
at the same
yeah, I think
time,
you're right.
this is like most of it, like the push here, right? Like these Banshees need to be here so we can get vision on this.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely agree with that. Like this felt weird, but if we go back, how do you go back like 2
Press
seconds? B.
I don't know how far back it is. Yeah.
Okay, here, let's look at his actual movement. How the Banshees go. Okay, the third one comes in.
Actually. I'm curious.
Okay, hold on. Wait, is he 1?
2.
No, he's 2. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, so
He
I
was
think
looking back for a second.
yeah, it was a little bit far forward. I think what his idea was here was to because he already kind of took this position, right? So as he flies the Banshees down, he gets the tank volley on the mineral patches and everything. I think his idea was because all of the defense is located here, that he might fly down here and then just kind of come in and harass this area, right?
He could
But
also
this
try to
spore
catch
screwed him up.
queens that are coming
Yeah.
down or something. It just feels weird though because this is the bloodline. Like even these 3 Banshees over top of this make it a million times harder to kill.
Yeah.
Right. So this is quite a big mistake. I think. I don't think he gets 1 queen.
Well, I think he was definitely being a little bit greedy
Also,
with
why
that.
didn't he transfuse there? But sure.
Yeah.
Gets
See,
3
yeah,
drones.
I think this was the original idea, but the spore screwed him up.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very interesting to see people pop up with builds like this, right?
Yeah, especially because I didn't think this was even a thing.
This engage is really poor.
It's really bad. But this is also what we were talking about before, right? Like when I was doing the drawing.
Yeah.
Essentially, the queens have to do this. Honestly, though, Serral didn't have much of a better chance. Like, realistically, he could have waited even longer, and I think that would have been the best call. But if you were to break this army, that would have been the best chance because there's no Banshees over here. The Banshees were trying to come back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that was rushed. There was no reason to rush that. I think at this point, he's actually just behind.
And he won the WSG 4-3. You know, when he found this, he was probably so giddy.
Yeah.
I bet you he has this little, like, INnoVation ruler that he puts on his monitor where he's like, okay, let's see. This is the length of queen range, like, right there. It's like, oh, it doesn't reach the siege tanks. He's like, okay, well, let's see what siege tank range is. Oh, my God, I can do it. God, that's like, how frustrating that must be as Serral.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Wait, I want to go up here. I want to see how many tanks he's lost before this whole siege thing happens. Right down here. Let's just stop here. What is it? How do I see units lost?
No, I don't think we can do that.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
technology just isn't there yet.
doesn't there. Okay. Well, anyways, he's got a fuck ton. Okay.
Well, look, he's got 11.
He's got 11 tanks. And
So
he's
then what
still
we do is-
producing them
yeah.
tanks. So like a
Well,
lot
he has 2 facts, though.
Does he? I don't
Yeah.
think he does.
Yeah, he does.
Well, what?
That's a great place for it. I love the fusion
He's
core
not even
placement.
building anything out of it.
Not at this moment, but
He
he
doesn't
will
need
be.
to. He's got 11 tanks.
Yeah. Well, you want him to have 13 tanks? Come on.
That's true. When did he add that on? Okay, he didn't. He had it on there very recently. So the reason why he adds that on, by the way, remember when I was talking about how if he loses all his tanks, he's just fucked? If you add on a second factory, you can rebuild them faster. But realistically, when you're at, yeah, I don't know why you do. The whole point is not. Don't make fun of me, okay, motherfucker. But you probably would see just more production in general. What is this, 5 Rexes? Yeah. He's just getting a little bit of everything. So he starts throwing down his fusion core and starports and stuff.
What is with this, though, seriously?
I actually don't know. I'm not even.
The other one I think we figured out pretty well. This one, I'm not as sure.
Oh, you know what? This might actually. Wait. I may be looking into this too heavily, but maybe he's sitting here to force Serral to take this base. And then that's when he starts doing this whole thing, right? Over here. Like, if you take this base, it's not bad to do the same thing, though. But you get 2 bases over here, right?
Well, the attack path is much, much cleaner.
That's true. It's like straight from the
coming
third
from
there.
here, right? Because
Yeah.
like your rally points are probably somewhere in this area, and then if you rally through your third to attack your opponent, that's always going to be the most powerful way.
Right. Also, you're defending your third to some extent too. Like if your army's sitting here, the attack path has to go over here and then here and then here, right, to go into the third. Whereas if you're over here, just straight through the center, right? Like, look at how fast this is. This is just straight here
Mm-hmm.
and then in.
Yeah.
So if you sit your army here, it's just a way more convoluted attack.
Yeah, yeah.
Like harass point.
You might be right.
Actually, it could
What's
be.
the first thing that this army did here? Let's go back just a little bit.
Serral does try to take the base.
Yeah, I believe he forces the. Does he force a cancel here? Like, no, I guess not.
I think he does.
Does he?
Just times 8 it, and we'll watch here.
Okay, so InnoLance is third. Okay, yeah, he does take it. Sees it here. Oh, that looks so funny.
It's actually really sick timing for Inno. Like, it's not even halfway done, and he's already got an army over there. He also has army over here, too. I think it makes the most sense, though, if you want to, because then...
This is a much harder base to attack later on.
Yeah, and Serral takes this one naturally, right? The next one. So, like, it's just so much further, right? Like, if you're siege tank pushing, the difference here and then going into here is way smaller and way safer. And you could take this base if you're Inno. What are you going to do, right, realistically? I'm wondering if that's actually what his goal was. Which
It
is
could be.
crazy.
It could be.
He's like hurting Serral.
All right, so he sets up here, and it's like very annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Serral
Serral
just
just
gives
says,
up
screw it, I'm not
immediately.
going to do this.
He goes for this one.
Yeah, and he does have that little group doing a little bit over on the side.
Yeah, he's just being annoying. But realistically, he just gives it up, right?
Yeah, now he's forced Serral to go where he wants.
Yeah.
INnoVation was the puppet master in this game.
He's either the puppet master or we're looking into this just being stupid fucking, like, you know what I mean? He's either dumb as shit or he's, like, playing 4D chess right now.
He's one of the best players of all time and one of the best Terran players in the world. I think we could give this to him.
I think we can. I think we can.
Yeah.
That's good, though. I like it. Okay. I think we're done with this replay.
Okay.
And yeah. I mean, at this point, the game's already over, so.
Yeah. Well, I think we went over the very interesting parts. That was a good one, though, actually. I really like looking at the ledges that he used. And, I mean, abusive spots on maps are huge. You know, I mean, StarCraft in general just has so many maps that get released. And when you find locations like that you can really abuse your opponent. I mean, we see the universe shifts based on map imbalances like that. Like, don't forget the Maru Rogue series.
Yeah.
Maru wouldn't be the sick legend right now, probably, right? Like, if Rogue wins that series.
Even the most recent GSL, there was abuse. Like, that map was essentially the best map you could have done that Tempest build on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So.
And that was one of his wins right there.
Yeah. There's tons of, like, instances of build orders on specific maps that do really well, which is great. That's kind of like the point of StarCraft. This is actually where team houses come the best in hand. Because you can keep it completely off the ladder, you can keep it completely in-house, and you can theory craft what will beat what without it being on a ladder, which is great. One sec, guys. We need to log in every time.
Oh, what the hell? Hold on, guys.
He doesn't know his password. We're going to call tech support.
That would be a great part of the episode. He's sitting here on tech support, and they're, like, not helping him. Do you know who I am? I'm Artosis! Like, sir, we really don't care. You don't even have a WoW subscription.
How long have you been a subscriber for?
Yeah.
Put you on a list.
They're like, sir, it looks here like your most hours logged are on StarCraft 1, so you've actually only spent $50 on Blizzard Entertainment. Like, help me get into my account.
They put you in, like, a priority on the queue. You're like 5,600th in the queue.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at this one next. This one you have not seen. This is from Olima League. It is Rogue vs. Zest. This is from the March finals of Olima League. By the way, I do want to shout out Olima League. Thank you to Olima League for letting us use these replays. You can support Olima League on their Patreon, Olima on Patreon, and get these replay packs for yourselves.
By the way, guys, you can support us. We should shout ourselves out.
Yeah, and you should, too.
I think we got 10 cents on our last video.
Did we?
Did we get? No, we
didn't.
No, that was the first one.
No, someone did tip like $1.85 on the first one, I believe it was. So
nice.
that was good.
Okay.
But, well, let's jump into this game. Okay, so this one I pulled up. This is Rogue versus Zest. We did look at some of the Rogue versus Zest games last week, but those were specifically the Stalker Prism, which we went over, right? That was kind of a cool little theme. We don't have as much of a theme this week.
Yeah, I actually want to do one more. At some point, I want to go over Battlecruiser.
Yeah.
Like battlecruiser openings are really sick right now.
Yeah, those are cool. We have to start collecting replays for those then.
I'm gonna get ladder runs because everyone does it on ladder.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, take those out.
But
yeah, no, I have a few cool episode ideas in mind. Actually, I'll tell you about one a little bit later.
Let's do it.
We'll lead into it with some other stuff, but
if we get a certain amount of donations, no, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, this is okay. So what we're gonna see here, there's been a little bit of a trend happening in ZVP. So here, let me just fast forward this a little bit. And this, particularly this build that we're about to see, is very exciting for me.
Let me observe. You can't do it, man.
I can do it.
You can if you want to get everyone dizzy. Okay, wait, I want to slow down. Because build orders in this matchup are also really important. I think the biggest thing with early game ZVP is the scouting. It seems like Zerg players have a really hard time scouting. You can see Rogue wants to so badly, by the way. No Zerg in their right mind would have 2 Overlords here.
That's pretty funny.
Unless you're, really wanting to scout. It's surprising that he's not doing anything with it either, though. Like, I don't understand. Okay, here comes the first Overlord.
That's pretty funny.
As soon as the Stalker leaves, the second Overlord goes in, or what? Nope. Okay. That's fine. He's not going to scout the Dark Shrine. That's unfortunate. Oh, is he? Oh, my God. What a sick scout. I mean, he would have been fine anyways. He's going Lair. If you don't scout anything here and you see this Robo, you should probably build an Overseer anyways, just in case. Yeah. Because it's Zest.
This is not that uncommon a build. This has actually been coming back in a rotation a bit. Like, we saw Hero do it a bunch against Scarlet.
Right.
We've seen... It's been coming back.
It's a double prism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this is what Zest likes to do.
Yeah, no, he is definitely into that type of thing. But what do you think Rogue's up to? Let's take a look at Rogue, because it's not about the Protoss thing that we're seeing here. I'm actually interested in the Zerg strategy that we're seeing.
Okay, well, Rogue has no vision on gases. He's building a Spore just in case. He already knows it's Dark Shrine, right? Just wants to keep safe.
Yep.
I think he's got to be aware of the fact that this is probably going to be the Archons.
Crazy things going on in my house.
Especially because of Zest. Like I said, Zest actually has done this a lot, like way back. Like I've casted Anonymouses with him doing it. Like he just does the double warp prism stuff. So I'd expect that he's trying to counter this. I would think a Roach Warren would be thrown down, but it's not started yet, so maybe Hydra. If he goes Spire, he's an idiot. So I hope, dear God, please don't be a Spire. Please. You're not talking, so I'm wondering. It's not a Spire, right? Why? Why? Why would you go Spire? I don't get it. He's going Corruptor.
Well, this is what I wanted. This is why I pulled this replay, because this is actually... We have been seeing a little bit of a resurgence of Spire in this matchup in general.
Yes, we have.
In different types of situations, but this was the weirdest situation I've seen a Spire in yet. Right?
I agree.
Isn't this weird? Isn't this like a very strange Spire?
If he builds a ton of Spine, it's just bad, though. I feel like he's
trying to say it's just bad.
He might be playing a mind game or something here. Because he didn't see that if they canceled or finished the Dark Shrine, maybe he thought, okay, Zest might cancel it, and then he's got a Robo, he's kind of fucked, right? I don't know. Okay, let's go. I'm curious. You've piqued my interest.
I know. This is a very interesting game.
He actually just does nothing with the DTs, by the way. So at this point, you've got a Spire on the way. Wait. It just feels pretty shitty for... Oh, my God. He doesn't lose it. Does he lose it? Okay, no.
He's fine.
Scary. It would be
Watch
so
what he does with it, though. He's got balls of steel to this one. Look at this. He waits for the shields. All right, I can make it.
Jesus, that would have died if those queens were in. Oh my God.
Oh!
Oh, he does save them though.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That was a bit over the top, in my opinion.
He saw the Spire. I don't know if he clicked on it because it's quite hard to do that. So he definitely didn't like register. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Protosses do this thing where they see a Spire and they freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like nobody just like, oh, it's a Spire, and then you just keep playing. No. They throw down like shield batteries. We got Archons, two Stargates,
getting blink.
Yeah, like they freak out. Okay.
Okay, so this is for me. This is just so weird.
I like this. Like for Zest, this is actually really cool because this allows you to take your third comfortably, DTs, but he just hasn't registered what it is. Like he probably thinks it's Ling Hydra or something like that. That's why he's getting charged.
Hmm.
And even still, Ling Hydra.
But look at what Rogue is doing here, right? He's making a bunch of spines as well.
Yeah, okay, this is what I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
The spines make sense.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to just get counterattacked. Mutas are actually really bad at defending. They're actually just awful. But if you play the game where you like a big dick, like you have to be the biggest dick and you just build a ton of spines and then you counter every time they leave their base, that's like the best way to use Mutas. So
Well, I want
sense.
Mutas to be a real build in this matchup. I really do. It's just that Protoss has so much crap that just kills them so
yeah, that's
hard.
the problem, really. Mutas are actually really strong, but if you don't die, that's when they're good. There's a chance that maybe Rogue saw that and thought, okay, I'm not going to die to an all-in, right? Seeing the Dark Shrine, it's probably not an all-in. It just doesn't make much sense.
And this would have to be the best map for it as well when you think about it. King's Cove has just the 2 entrances, so you're not going to get like flanked. The spine crawlers are going to be a lot more useful in a lot of ways.
Right. 33 probes. Oh, yeah, because he transferred. I think that might be it for Rogue. He's probably thinking, okay, he's not going to all-in me. He's going Dark Shrine. He probably wants to do like double Warp Prism.
Well, the Dark
Mutas will shut it
Shrine
down.
The Dark Shrine builds all right now though are just continual attacks. You know?
Yeah.
It's like you get into Immortals plus Archons plus Charge Lots and you just keep going. That's like every game I see Dark Shrine at the moment.
Well, that's why we're building spines now. Right? I think as long as the Immortal count is low enough, the spines are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would agree.
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't have spines here, he'd just be dead.
Oh, yeah. The game would already be over.
So it's nice that he built the spines. This is like a pretty common move from Zest, I think. As soon as you see the Mutas, you kind of just go for it.
Yeah.
There's no other real option. Because if you wait and they get like roaches or something, you're never going to break them. But there's this period after like Mutas just start. He almost actually breaks them. It's really close. He only stopped because his Warp Prism was attacked. He would have never stopped that Warp in if it wasn't for that Prism being under attack.
Well, that is how you normally stop him.
Oh, that's pretty unfortunate. I think if that Zealot Warping gets off, he actually kills this.
Yeah.
5 more Zealots here?
Yeah.
It's close already, right? Really
Yeah.
close.
No, I think you're right. He would have wiped this. Because he just barely doesn't. Like,
he
the
kills
Queens
all
would have
these
already been
queens-
dead, and then you would still have some Zealots left over.
Where's the worker count? 47 to 33? I mean, Zest is in a terrible position.
Yeah,
He hasn't done anything with it. He's just, like, focusing on this. But it was close to almost working. Yeah. I actually don't like Rogue's decisions, by the way. Like, I thought from the very beginning the Spire would have been it's kind of a bad idea. Just because it is risky. It's really risky. And it doesn't necessarily pay off more than something like Roaches or Hydras. Like, if you just defend and play the game out from that position, and Zest's Dark Templar that you scouted do nothing, you're actually in a great spot. But you're playing really, really weird, you know? It's just like you put more bullets in the Russian roulette.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it just doesn't make much sense.
the thing is, I love Mutas. Like, Mutas are, like, the most fun unit in the game.
Sure.
I think.
Do you think he's playing for fun right now?
Well, no. The thing is, I want Mutas strategies. Like, right, a whole bunch of the patches in ZVT specifically have been trying to get Mutas to be usable again. But the thing is, like, Phoenix's counter Mutas so unrealistically hard, and then, like, Prism plus Archons are so strong against Mutas as well. Like, if you've ever seen a pro go after Mutas in his base with an Archons in a Prism, it's like, yeah, that kills them too. So it's... I want it to work so badly.
I think if Lurkers were better, they might actually be able to use them better. But there's not enough backbone to the army. That's the problem for the Zerg, right? You need that backbone Roach Hydra or something that's tanky enough that it doesn't just die.
Yeah.
You need Banes. You need this gas-heavy composition to not just die. And if you're investing in Mutas, you don't really have that, right? But if we had Lurkers where you build like 5-6 Lurkers and you don't just die, it's fine. But Lurkers are so bad right now. It's not funny how bad they are.
Why do you think they're so bad right now?
They just die to everything. When was the last time you saw a Lurker made in PvZ?
I saw a lot of them today. I was watching a lot of replays today. Yeah.
I kind of want to go over those. That sounds
We definitely can. Sue made quite a few of them against
Sue?
Patience in actually a kind of interesting
Did he
game.
win?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
It's very rare, though, in general. Like, on ladder, it's almost extinct. But perhaps, I guess, in certain situations, it's not that bad. I don't know. I don't want to call Sue dumb, so if he's done it, then I just...
Well, I mean, it's funny, though, because
Okay,
we saw a lot of Lurker play before.
Another problem with
Oh, should we
lurkers
jump back in?
like when you go spires, obviously you just don't have the gas. You need at least four bases with this gas to really realistically make lurker and meat at the same time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was
a
a weird game, but I was so excited to see like a straight mute attack. This like, I mean, obviously he has 2 overlords there, so he's going to know if you're going phoenixes, and then I'm sure he doesn't go for it.
Yeah.
But like,
the biggest
just the
problem
fact that Stargates in general are losing a little bit of popularity, and everyone's going for like immortal bus and sentry attacks.
Yeah.
The fact that he rushed up to Spire just kind of, I thought that was a cool thing to see.
Another problem with it is it's scoutable. It's very scoutable in general. Like if you go with the robo build, right, you can scout the fact that it's Spire pretty quick. Like you scout the heavy ling count, you can already react, and it's almost going to be good against Spire no matter what. For example, if you scout heavy ling, you scout an Evo or something, you're like, okay, he's going melee ling, you go Archon drop and you win. And I know this because I play melee ling all the time. If as soon as it gets scouted, I'm like, well, there's going to be an Archon drop in about 2 minutes and I'm going to die. Like, there's like nothing I can really do.
Yeah.
If Protoss scouting was worse, then I think Mutas would be even better. This is kind of why people hide the spires sometimes.
Yeah, well, that was a weird spot. Is like inside his gases that isn't natural.
Yeah. Like this is pretty hidden already.
Yeah, that's like a spot you're not likely to go.
It's flying in over here. You got a third base and you got a main base. That's what you juggle between the two.
Yeah.
You never fly in over here and you're like, what? And even if you do, you're flying in, you're going in here, and then you leave. You never go like here and then you're like, all right, I'm going in the main over here in this scary area.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you do, you're so left aligned, you actually don't see the spire anyways.
That's true. Yeah, it's just a great spot.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to see more? Like, Hydrodens are not that expensive. You throw down a Hydroden and then throw a spire down somewhere on the map, and then it's like, whoa, fling Hydra. But the problem is actually if you go Archon still, it's okay, or Storm.
Yeah.
Maybe a Roach form would be better then.
Almost everything counters Mutas. The
The
only thing that doesn't is like these immortals, I guess.
Infestation Pit maybe? Fake swarm hosts? It's complicated. You really have to jump through a ton of hoops to make Spire work, though, is the point. It's not just something you throw down and it works, like Hydra or Roach. That's kind of why I'm surprised Rogue did it, right?
And this is the game he won against us, so.
Yeah. Like, he could throw down a Roach Warren and just, he'd hold fine. Like, you would never die to charge that Archon. What?
Just seeing that we got some donations here.
Did we?
Yes, we did indeed. Damn.
We have no alerts?
My nerds.
Oh, my God.
We got
really
$10 total from Flying Above. I tip. I like GG and Almagistrum. Almagistrum. All Mages Tum. All Mages Tum, I think is his name.
All Mages Tum. That makes sense.
$150. Thank you so much.
That's insane. Thank you so much.
Really appreciate that.
We appreciate that. Yes.
You're great.
You're amazing.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah.
I don't like it. That's my decision. I don't like it.
That's the final decision on this replay of Mutas against Protoss. God, I wish that it were a thing. It's just, a long time ago, Mutas were quite strong against Protoss.
Yeah.
Like, in between when Phoenixes became ridiculous.
Oh, no, they were great.
Sentry attacks.
They were great.
Got nerfed.
I remember I used to play this where you would go Muta, and then they'd go Phoenix, and then you'd go Corruptor, and you'd actually just win. You get a 1 fungal off, and it would kill all the Phoenixes. But doesn't exist anymore because Archons and Storms, and I don't know if it just became more popular to do this opener where you have Archons and you have the ability to go into it. I think back in the day it was not as common. Obviously, we didn't just go into Templar and then do the Archon drop because it didn't exist. So I just feel like the meta has shifted to a point where almost everything just blind counters it.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we don't see it as much.
The Mutas in StarCraft 2 are like, it's kind of decisive. Like, when they were good against Protoss, it felt insane.
It did.
Right? It was like, oh my God, how am I actually supposed to beat this? You have to like have more Phoenixes than there are Mutas or something back then. Yeah. This was before moving shot
this
Phoenixes.
Is before range, I think, was the big upgrade, right? That changed that. Because at some point there was no Phoenix range.
There was no Phoenix range at one point, and at one point they did not shoot while moving like they do.
This is before my time then.
I'm not making that up.
Beta?
A long time ago, but I know that I used to go against Protoss. I used to go Mutas.
So were they like kind of like scouts? Like what were they?
Well, they like stopped to shoot and stuff. Go get your Wings of Liberty CD and dust off a CD drive and put it in and install, and you'll see. I'm quite sure the original patch.
We should do that one day just for shits and gigs.
My God.
We should do an
Go visit that ladder. What would that look like?
That would be sick. We'd be so good.
We would kill that.
We'd destroy
No,
them.
man, they have their own little meta now. They're like, oh, no, we figured out what's really broken.
They're just like following MVP still.
Yeah.
Like pulling up MVP VODs.
Yeah. He's truly the best. I'm like, you're on Team Liquid, aren't you?
Huh.
Okay, so that was kind of the one that I thought was really interesting. I wanted to go through that last week, but we did not have time. There's one from Alima League 151 that happened this previous week, the most recent Alima League, that I wanted to jump into and just talk about one little aspect of it.
Sure.
That I thought was kind of interesting, kind of cool. Let's get into it.
Sounds good. What?
Nothing. Just waiting for this to get off Battle.net to load up a replay because a patch came out that didn't do anything.
Yeah, the patch. I was like, oh my god, there's a patch. I look at it, it's like, just changed the UI bug. I'm like, oh great. Like,
By the way, now you have to relog in for every replay you watch. I'm like, oh my god, that's like how I spend my time on StarCraft 2. Okay, so let's jump into this game. And okay, so there's like this whole concept, right? This is a very old concept. It's one of the most important things. If you're not good against Zerg, this is probably part of the reason. Putting pressure on and just making sure that they're making units rather than drones.
Yes.
This is like such an important aspect of StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2.
He doesn't even try.
Yeah, he's
Zerg players,
great.
by the way, it's so annoying. Zerg players, you have to send your drones down at like 15 or 14 to not get pylon blocked on certain maps.
Dude, yeah.
So now people just give up. They're just like, I'm going to my third. I don't care anymore.
I told you, I saw it. I think Rogue make a 12 hatch after Overlord or something. It was like so funny.
It's not even like over-exaggeration.
Yeah.
Like, they just send their
He's just
probes
like, nah,
early.
screw this. I want this hatchery here.
It's so clunky like when you're naturals here. If you
Yeah.
if you don't play it well, like you can just die. It's like a depths back and forth or something. Gate Nexus, pretty standard.
So this is just going to take a minute to get into it, but yeah, keeping pressure on a Zerg, making sure that they make units, you know, that's
essential. It's really essential.
It's super
like
important.
When I play ladder and they aren't harassing me with the depths, they aren't oracles, like they're none of it. I'm like, what? Like I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then I just attack with like 20 more units than I normally would, like 20 more Hydras. And I'm like, well, they're dead. And it's just like there's no reason not to do it.
Well, the pressure that Patience puts on this game, I just like, you know, I looked at the replay pack and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of Patience games in here. I'll find something for us to look at. Because he's one of the more interesting players, I think is a good way to put it. Like, whenever you watch a Patience game, there's something going on.
Are you serious?
He does this like every game, by the way.
This is trash. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Why is it trash? Let's talk about it.
Actually, it's not that bad. It's just
Cybercores have a lot of HP. They build quick.
oh my god. Actually,
see that?
I refuse. I retract by it's trash. It makes sense now. It still hasn't taken his third. Okay, can finally take it. Another nice thing about delaying the third so much is the creep between the bases is not there. Yeah, you don't have that ability to walk your queens back and forth.
He really delayed that a long time.
Yeah, he did 2 sentries. This is already pretty suspicious if you're solar. Generally, that's going to be a Robo. It's not going to be a Stargate. It's not going to be Twilight. Those tech pass scope. That was so ballsy, by the way.
I know.
You could have just lost the game.
I know.
Why would you ever do that?
He's Patience. That's why. This is like how he plays.
I want to follow his camera. What is he doing?
He's going after the Lings, man. He wants
Building
to kill
the
him.
gateway. It's like, oh, okay, I'm doing my thing. Let me hallucinate.
He saw the Lings. He saw how
there's
many were
Lings.
there. The hallucination went over him, though. So he saw how many
Oh
was
god,
there.
he plays with Diva.
Oh, of course he does. Of course he does.
What a great! I love how we can tell what announcers they play with.
Yeah, that's cool.
What does Solar play with? I wonder.
Okay, hold on. This is actually the point that I needed us to
Okay.
look at, so we can look. We'll check his voice pack momentarily. I promise. Okay.
I feel like we
okay,
can
let's
learn a
go
lot
to
about them.
everyone. Okay. You see this army?
Yep.
Pretty fearsome, am I right?
Well, that's the beginning. That's the beginning of the end. If I see that army. The ball's on him. He's just moving out with 3 sentries,
right?
man.
Now, we were already talking about this. It's important to put pressure on.
Yeah.
And make sure that the Zerg is making units. But is there a point where you go too far? Okay.
This is going too far. There's no warp person in 3 sentries.
Do you look at this army that we're looking at? And Patience has decided, he's like, you know what I'm going to do?
Take that Inno army and just take out a tank and like 3 more Marines. This is how weak this army is.
Watch this, though. Watch. Watch what
What is
patience
going
does.
on?
Watch.
You know what? I think I already know what he's gonna do. So like, wait, I did not know what he was gonna do. I think he moves out with this because he can force field and recall, right?
Yeah. But if you're planning a push coming up, is how worthwhile is what we're seeing here?
It's awful. It's so bad.
It's such a and he meant to put it there.
So
So this
bad.
isn't a misclick.
It's so bad that
he meant to put it there.
Solar is building 4 drones.
Right? Right? So at some point
he sees this and he's like, you know what I need? I need some drones. Like this guy.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Isn't this too much? Isn't this like over the top?
Yes, I think it is. I don't get it. He's actually adding on gateways really late too. I don't like. There's no push coming for like 3 minutes, so I don't know what this is.
Watch this. He's not done.
Oh my god. What?
He's got to go back, man. He's got to get back up there. That's his safe spot right there.
Yeah, I guess he can force field it and stuff. Nice. What was that? That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Can we go back and think of a song? I just want to watch this camera. Jesus. He's building his stuff. You know, he's doing literally nothing with this. It's like, oh, look, I'm a Protoss. I'm going to do some harass. And oh, God, he's got Zerglings. Who would have thought he'd... I got to get out of here. He picks up 2 sentries. He's like, wait, I can't leave that sentry behind. He just recalls everything after picking it all up. Like, what the fuck's going on? Okay, now it's back.
So, this thing that we just saw.
Okay. Does patience win this game?
Oh, you better believe he wins this game. You better believe that.
Wait. Where's that immortal thing going? Nice. Like that would accomplish
He
a lot there.
eliminated Sue in this tournament, by the way.
Jesus Christ. If this isn't a testament to nerfing Protoss, I don't know what is.
Well, I mean, patience is the reason why people hate Protoss. Like, he is, you know, in the GSL finals last night, we had this thing where it's like classic Protoss himself or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool because he kind of does epitomize Protoss in a lot of ways. But the way people feel about Protoss, that's what patience epitomizes. Okay, the way that they feel about it.
I have no fucking clue. What?
Oh no,
what
this
is
this is an amazing build.
This is so dumb.
You wait to see what he does here. But look, here's the thing about patience. You know, you were talking about like you want to go through battle cruisers on a show, and maybe we'll do a Mario TVP episode, stuff like that. I want to almost make a second show where we have in depth where we go deeply into sophisticated plays. I want to make a show that's just about patience replays. And we can call it like we can call it skin deep or something, right? It's like not, it's what's on top.
I would love to hear his thought process on this.
The thing is, I don't understand, but he is one of the best Protosses. You can't deny it. Like he's always qualifying for everything.
Would be
he
so
can
good.
beat everybody.
We can put True, we can put Haas, and we can put Patience
onto one team.
Yeah, and who else? I'm trying to think. There has to be others, but those are the big ones. Where they just like turn off their brains and win. It's insane.
Well, the thing is, when they're winning and everything looks wrong to you and looks weird, there has to actually be something to that.
This makes me think. You know what the first game, me versus True, what the build order was for him?
13-12?
13-12 to me.
Yeah.
And he died to my 13-12. I'm like, well, who the fuck would do that?
I wonder how I could guess that one.
Jesus Christ. All right.
So okay.
This is so I can't
because it's so patient.
It's so bad though.
Maybe we should just go over a bunch.
He builds glaives after scouting a ton of Roach Ling. Like I don't know what you're looking for. If I scouted a bunch of Hydra,
dude, glaives makes adepts shoot quicker. Do you not understand?
Yeah, but they're so shit. They're supposed to be shit at least. Oh, use his Park. Here you go.
Ah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah. He would use Diva. Oh, okay, I see where this is going. This is disgusting. I feel so dirty. I know what the fuck's gonna happen. I feel so dirty because Solar can't do anything to prevent it, and he knows what's about to happen to him. Look at this shit. You see that? You see what those are? Those are the oh fuck. He's gonna try and lock me out of my base Ravagers. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank God they made Guardian Shield bigger.
That was such a dumb change, by the way.
Well, I love it. It fits everything now. It's really easy.
Do you know why they did that?
So it fits everything.
No. The original reason?
Why?
Well, first off, Snoot did the change. Snoot said that it's really dumb that you make a Guardian Shield and all your charge slots run out of it. And they made Guardian Shield bigger, so your charge slots are in it now. Like, what the fuck?
Excellent.
Wow. So what I thought was going to happen didn't. He just actually just kills the army. He doesn't actually do anything fancy. Solar thought it. I thought it. But Glaives are so shit. These could have been charge lots. It could have been anything else.
The Glaives are great, man. He wins a lot of games only.
Why doesn't he just get charged, though? It's just better.
Charge doesn't make Zealots shoot faster. That's why.
It's true. You can do this shit, too.
Yeah.
You can't do that with charge. Ah. But you'd think of, you know, maybe he'll let it finish.
Well, Patience is such an interesting character, man. Like, seriously, the way that he plays, where like that first move out with 3 sentries and an Immortal, where he just sits there. The fact that he sat right here with his 4 of his first 5 units, right? High-end, expensive-ass units. All right, and then he brought the Prism over, and he's still recalled, right? So, like, not only like does he bring the Prism, but yeah, he's like, well, obviously, 50 Nexus energy is worth saving a sentry. None of us can argue with this, but like,
yeah, why wouldn't you just pick it up and then recall the sentry though? He just recalls everything. You know what? It's just
that's
so
a good
dumb
point.
that it's good.
I'm not sure.
Like Solar built drones during it. He was so little scared that he's just like, he pretends it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
It's just such a shitty move out.
That was kind of my thing, where it's like, you know, keeping pressure on the Zerg, making him make units is good, but like when it's a little army like that, I'm like, is this pressure?
It's not.
What am I watching here?
He's actually just building drones and laughing.
Yeah. Well, he ends up losing.
He does.
Regardless, right?
Well, right now, he's like, how the fuck did I lose to this idiot? Like, that GG was the hardest GG of his life, right? I promise you.
Oh, my God. I feel like we should look at a couple more of Patience replays. Should we?
Yeah, we've got more, don't we?
Oh, yes, we do. If you want Patience replays, I got them for you.
Hell yeah.
That's like when I told you we had that.
We're definitely doing a fucking Haas True Patience day. I'm excited now.
We should, because
we get
the
all
thing
the
is, these players that kind of get shit on by people, by the community in general, the thing is, all 3 of those guys are really good. Yeah. They've all won a ton of money. They've all won a bunch of tournaments. They've all qualified for high-end stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
I'm not denying the fact that what they do works.
Yeah, that
works for
that's
no
the interesting
reason.
No good reason. That just means that we don't really understand why what they're doing is so effective.
Yeah, we should do it. We should go over it.
Well, it is so interesting because, like, I see these moves, and there's so many things. I love watching Patience games, but there's so many things he does where I look at it and I'm like, this can't be good, right?
I mean, that was
but
not good,
sometimes
though.
You can sit there and watch it and be like, okay, I guess this actually is good, right? Like, for instance, those move outs by INnoVation, when we first saw them in the Serral game, we're like, this isn't good, right? This isn't good. And then when we really dig deep, we're like, this might be the most brilliant thing we've ever seen.
I kind of want to just message Joji now. I'm curious.
Go for it.
One sec, guys. I'm actually going to message Patience. I've got him on here somewhere.
That's going to be an interesting. All right, hold on. I'm going to find the.
Oh shit! He deleted his Kakao. I don't know why he did that.
He probably just blocked you.
He
like, this guy's
me.
Talking trash right now. I'm not having it.
I would have called him up and been like, "Why the fuck did you move out with 3 sentries in Immortal? What was the plan here?"
So that one is a failed cannon rush.
Let's go over it.
Oh no, we can't go over the failed cannon rush. It's bad.
I mean, that's kind of.
It's like a failed cannon rush into a failed Immortal attack. I'm like, oh, huh.
Sounds like Patience.
Hold on, where is this Sue versus Patience? Okay, Sue versus Patience series. Which one was the really good one? It was this one. I like this. This one has lurkers in it.
Okay,
let's look at this one.
You would make lurkers versus Patience.
Oh, they're great against Patience.
Yeah, he's building Adepts and shit. You're like, what the fuck? That's the one unit I'll give you. Lurkers definitely kill Adepts.
Wait till you see his unit comp in the mid game on this map.
Too bad to watch. Yep, guys. This replay actually just doesn't qualify for our standards on Adept.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you take over, buddy. You're such a good observer.
I know. If I ever...
You can turn this stuff however you want. Here, let me move out of your way a little bit. You're like sitting so far away. This is like so,
okay,
I
I've
have
got
you
long
sitting on
arms.
like one of my kitchen chairs. I'm in my sleep
Budget
gaming
cuts.
racer
Budget
chairs.
One day we'll be able to get a second chair.
Yeah.
That's when we made it. I really don't like Protoss not scouting. It's so shitty. It's just so bad. You do so
No one
much with
pulls first. No one.
No one does it.
Well,
but-
someone should start.
Well, I do.
Well,
but it's so shitty.
That's true.
They always probe scout me though, so.
That's true. Yeah.
I actually just think the.
I bet they probe scout true as well.
They definitely do. That's against true. You just build your pylon up here. Like you're just like I'm not even expanding. I'm one basing it. It just feels like the probe scout actually just does so much. Just even blocking here, like it's just worth it. But yeah, you're right. No one's gonna early pull you, especially on this map. This is the last map you'll early pull.
Oh, there's some really cool parts of this game. I can't wait for you to see.
I'm ready.
Oh, I'm actually starting to get very excited.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I almost just started pulling all the patience replays in the folder. I'm like, oh, he won't like that if I do that.
No, it's fine.
This is like one of my, I like Haas too. It's like
Yeah,
there's
I
these
like Haas
players
as well.
that the players, they're like the Rodney Dangerfield players. They don't get any respect, and like, but they're.
Yeah, I remember on
They win. There's lessons there.
There was some. I posted on some fucking. I never posted on Reddit, but I posted on Reddit defending printf.
Oh, printf's great.
Yeah, because I'm like, if
That
you
guy's
can,
actually brilliant.
If you can play on an account named printf and get successful cannon rushes, you're actually just a genius. Like,
And
it's-
everyone knows he's going to do it.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter.
He does it every fucking game. Like,
No, he's amazing.
it's same with
He's
Haas
amazing.
too, because you know Haas is going to do some fucked up shit, and he still wins. He literally
Absolutely.
came second in a tournament. It's like, how?
Yeah.
How do you go through so many different people? The best part is he doesn't even change it up that much. He does the same shit every game.
I talk about it a lot where players like this, they're giving like out lessons for free basically. Imagine
I agree.
if stats
Yes, I always
just
said this.
roll
I've
the
always
die
said this.
and use a Haas build 1 in 6
This
times.
is actually what Scarlet was doing, right? Like she would roll the dice and use one of my builds and just win tournaments. You know what I mean?
Did she actually have a die?
No, not literally.
Oh, okay,
There was
because
a mental die though.
yeah, no, and I mean, you can definitely mind game like that too. But I'm like so serious that if stats like literally just mastered a few of Haas's all-ins,
Yeah.
and literally, I'm not joking, actually literally had a die that he rolled.
You know what would be the sickest
And on
thing?
6s, he does a Haas strat before a game, right?
You know-
You see him roll the die. He doesn't make any facial expression. He puts the die away, and you're like, fuck! There's no way to counter that.
You know
It's like, stats would never lose again.
I believe you.
He would never lose again. He'd be the greatest player of all
You know
time.
Haas, you know the fucking roulette or not Wheel of Fortune? Haas should just get like a little wheel and he just like fucking spins it and it ticks, like, and then it stops on a strat and he just puts his wheel away. Like that would actually be like the sickest fucking like camera thing to ever happen. It would actually just break the internet.
Yeah.
Like it would be as big as the foot larva.
Yeah. Oh my god, that thing got like 1 million views.
That was like the most relevant
I'm gonna
StarCraft
do it,
ever
man.
been.
I'm gonna incorporate a die into my play.
Hell yeah. If I had enough strategies, I would do it. The problem is I would run out at like 3.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
I don't
like,
have enough
it's
time
not
to
enough.
practice that many strats.
I think the only person who could do it is Haas. He actually just has enough builds to do it. Did you roll a dice for your vetoes too?
No, not for the vetoes.
That would be sick. Nice. Absolute. This is the most frustrating shit ever, by the way. If these motherfuckers like, oh, there's a spore, 3 queens and 100 links, I'm going to do some damage. Like, fuck off. Just go home. Like, God, it's so obnoxious. It's even worse against Zerglings. Like, DT's killed Zerglings so fast. This is so obnoxious, too. Where'd all those links go?
Yeah, they're going for the counter, man. They're hitting his third. Check it.
It's a DT there, though.
Yeah.
This
No
is
problem.
great. Fucking love
Yeah, he's
DT.
getting his forge. I love it. This is pretty quality harassment.
Yeah, that was good. He's still here. Like, fuck off. How many workers has he killed? 10?
Damn.
If he loses that Archon, I'm closing this replay. Okay.
You're not closing this replay.
I was gonna close
over
it.
my dead body.
I was gonna
I'll
fucking
open it
close
right back up.
No, you won't.
Like,
you
you're
know
in
how
my
long it's gonna
house.
take?
We're watching the replays I want to watch.
I would have closed it, okay? I shit you not. It's like his only job is to not lose that fucking Archon. Okay. Oh yeah, so he's kind of doing like a semi-zest here. Except he's fucking up. There's only 1 Archon here. Somehow.
That's all
because
you
he
need.
warped in. Dog, the fucking shit Patience does. He's walking 3 Archons down the center of the map because he doesn't have like 2 prisms. It's just so dumb. Could you imagine if you're a Zerg player and you're running your links through the center, you see 3 Archons walking down and a prism floating next to it, and you're like, why the fuck aren't those Archons in the prism? Like, they're just fucking there. There's no...
It's amazing. It is. You're right. It's amazing.
They're just sitting here. Okay, now we're getting into prisms. Fucking Christ. Like, he's just... This is just the weirdest tag team of shit that he's not paying attention to.
I know. It's great.
Like,
the thing is...
what do you think his logic is behind this, by the way? He goes in,
he
sees a ton of Roach Hydra, and he's like, all right.
Yeah, it's time to kill the 4th. You just don't even understand Protoss, man. You Zerg players are not smart enough.
Did he transform both of them?
Yeah. It's a bigger warping area. Come on.
Oh,
now
God.
watch this. Watch this. Damn, he's good.
Oh my God, he's too good. Wait.
Free kill on the 4th.
Test. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, is everything all right?
Yeah. The soundboard's old. Okay. Why the fuck did Sue send his entire army back for 2 zealots? I don't get it.
Well, it could have been more than 2.
I'm going back. I'm doing it. Let's see what Sue's thinking. He's looking in. He's like, okay, I'm gonna try. He's trying to kill my 4th. 2 zealots. Fuck! I need my entire army there. Fuck that
17
base.
roaches about to pop. By the way.
That base is dead. I need this zealot. 1 zealot now. It's 1. He's like, okay, tough price, but I cleared out those zealots, so.
You didn't clear them. I think they got out. Check the prism.
But he's like, okay, well, at least I got an observer. Even trades.
Well, observers cost gas hatches now.
What is he
so
looking
it's
at right
pretty
now?
good.
Okay, never mind. We're good. Okay. Patience is like, all right, I killed a 4th base. Time to kill a 3rd base. And then he's like,
That's
oh,
the next
shit.
logical step.
Wait, does he have the prism over here? Yes, he does. He's ready. He's going to drop that zealot in. Sue's going to send his entire army back, and he tried to kill the 3rd. I think that's what he wanted. Oh, shit.
You're getting excited about this Patience Sue game.
It's great.
It's a great series. Sue, I am champ. Fall into Patience here.
Not enough adepts, I think. Clearly, the adept is the backbone of the Protoss army. He's coming back.
Of course he is.
It's not even made yet. Just chill, Patience. God damn, let him breathe. I'm just waiting for this prism to go back in. Oh shit, Sue's not having it anymore. Oh shit, Sue's out for blood. Never mind. He's they're both playing like they both don't really want to fight fully. Oh shit.
He's out of position though.
I feel like Patience is playing like Dungeons and Dragons StarCraft.
What does that mean?
Like he rolls the fucking die and he's like, "Do you want to proceed?" And he's like, "Yes." Like, I rolled a 9. I go up here.
Oh, you had a
6,
critical
I go
hit
back.
on the hatchery again. Congratulations. It's like, yes.
You find a couple roaches. He's like, oh, okay, I'll take those. Oh shit! One immortal gets lost on its way there. It dies. Like,
oh, that's fine. I'll make more.
oh my god. I can't believe this game is 23 minutes long.
Oh, it's an epic one too. I can't wait for you to see some of the stuff that's about to happen.
He lost his prism, but he's got a second one.
Yeah,
here.
this one's coming up. It's gonna flank with this zealot. Watch this.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Oh god.
The flank.
This army's just dead. That one zealot flank. How the fuck did Patience just take this fight? The worst possible fight
He
ever.
didn't take it. Oh, you mean?
What?
Well,
Are these?
he's got to get out with what he can.
No. He's just like, all right, I'll give up on this army, but I'm saving 2 immortals. I'm bringing these bad boys home. Like he's okay. He's recalling.
Yeah, the recall.
How
There
the
you
fuck
go.
did that sentry miss it? Whatever.
Damn. I just wish the prism had been in that recall.
Well, at least his immortals are safe. Like, what the fuck? Those are like the last units that would have died in the... Whoa, was that another immortal?
Was it?
It
Oh
was.
my
Look at
god.
That's the second misrallied immortal.
Oh my god.
Patience is
His
just so
immortals
good.
are just rallying into the middle of the map.
He would have had like 4 immortals here if he didn't just rally them in. But at least he saved 2 of them. Where are they? Oh, there they are. He's brought them back. He's got 20 Stormy boys.
Lurker then is on the way, so you're going to get to see the true power of Lurkers
I
here.
mean, I can see why Sue loses. Does he lose?
I believe this is actually the game he wins.
Oh, shit.
I'm pretty
Never mind.
sure, yeah.
Well, Patience played so well. How did he win?
Well, you got to wait and see.
I
That's
love
good
these
defense.
2 cannons.
Yeah. Those are badasses. You making fun of those
No,
cannons?
I mean,
Those
like
are killing.
You can only just drop here, here, or here, here. But at least this spot right here, that spot's safe.
Oh,
Okay?
I like that cannon defense.
I love how he flew
That's
in
like a
and-
backbone right there.
Yeah, man, 2 cannons. Hell yeah, and a couple storms.
Yeah. You saw what just happened
I
at drop.
did, I
See, he's
did.
going to try your strat now.
Okay.
Drop over here. Let's see how that goes.
Well, I mean, there's DTs here. That
Time to
doesn't
get
count.
wrecked. Yeah, but the DTs wouldn't be there if not for the cannons.
Oh, look, he's going around that area. He's already doing more. Like, memeing aside, that actually did more than the first drop.
That is true.
Oh shit! Wow, that's
Okay,
a lot.
there's the
of
lurks.
Look at how ballsy this shit is. Like,
Just out
it's
in
like
the middle.
10 lurkers. Send my Templar forward. I got
man.
this.
He doesn't have hive. Those things aren't going to kill him.
Oh, they're burrowed. Oh my god, those storms.
My God.
Patience is god. If he had any amount of force fields, by the way, this army would be dead. But he doesn't have any sentries for some reason at all. He's still storming, goddammit. Chill. Okay, these lurkers are dead. So this is what I was talking about. Lurkers are actually just shit.
Well, lurkers can't fight alone. It's like broodlords, man. Any
Roach
any
is a-
long distance unit is not supposed to be alone.
Why the fuck
Three
are there
prism-
3 prisms here? Somebody in chat tell me. I'm not smart enough to comprehend what the fuck's going on. There's 3 prisms and they're all right next to us. Why not one over here? Why not one over here? Now I need 3 right here. That way I can evacuate my entire army.
Do you want to know the real reason?
Yeah, I'm ready.
F2.
Well, he has everything on a hockey too. Okay, whatever. He's
Yeah,
got
you
one
do both.
prism on a hockey.
Yeah. He's got a hockey of 1 High Templar,
Oh.
a hockey of 21
Oh,
units,
shit.
and a hockey of... Seriously, this is an all-army thing. Like, how many times have I seen Heroes Mothership Corps back in the day just fly into turrets? Because he F2A'd and then, like,
That's
forgot,
true.
and it was, like, slowly
The best-
going across the map.
Is before you could siege up observers, they would do that shit too, where they fly over like spores and stuff. What?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What?
I want to point out, Blink is being researched, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I find kind of interesting. I'm not totally
actually
against
awful.
it. Well, hold on, right? Lurkers counter Stalkers pretty damn hard.
Yes.
But, like, I feel like Stalkers late game do have a little... You can do a little bit with them if it's not giant battles. In big battles,
Against
they're terrible.
Broodlords, I agree. Broach
Well,
Hydra, and literally anything
sometimes.
that isn't Broodlord. Even Broodlords kind of suck.
It's
tell me,
weird, though. It's weird.
How many Stalkers does Patience have right now?
Well, he doesn't have Blink yet, so why would he have Stalkers?
How many Stalkers do you think he's going to make this game?
Well, you forget I've seen this replay. A lot.
Really? Okay, I'm ready. Where's his I love his prisms. Where's that other prism?
It's over here. It's over here.
What the fuck is this shit? Like, these prisms are so badly utilized. Look at this one.
It's a scouting prism.
Now Sue's like, fuck, man, I took out 1 prism. I can just go. And he's like, nope, I got 3 more prisms.
Yeah.
You know what he should start doing? He should start suiciding prisms so that Sue thinks there's no prisms and then just, like, show up with 1,000,000 units.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Like, whoops, I lost my prism. Well,
Okay, making the second robo.
I like it. Immortals are good.
Oh, yeah, we had a little bit of drop action at the 4th base of Patience.
These overlords haven't done anything since those 2 cannons were there. Nice. He finally made some sentries. Worst force fields I've ever seen, but that's fine.
They still do work.
Why are we fighting here? What the fuck? What is this fight? He sees 4 lurkers siege up, and he's just like, okay, well, I got 3 roaches over here that I got to kill. And they're in a line, too? Like, come on, Patience, chill. What the fuck is this pylon doing? Was he planning on taking that base?
It's scouting pylon.
Shit, he used the prism. Where's the other prisms?
Oh, I think one's right there. No, that's an observer. Sorry.
Did he lose them?
Oh, yeah, he only has 1 now. But that's why you make 3, is because then you always can have 1.
That's true. That makes sense.
What's that, roaches? Oh, okay.
I actually really, one thing
Hey,
to give,
Blink.
that was dumb. One thing to give him credit is he's actually really sick at using DTs to clear drops and stuff.
Mm.
Like, Sue.
And look at this. Hey, remember that upgrade we were talking about?
Which one?
Blink.
Yeah?
See that drop and how it's not doing anything?
Yeah, I do.
My favorite part of the game
Why
is
didn't you just
coming up
jump
pretty
on
soon.
this? Like, Look at this army. This army could have dealt with that shit pretty easily too.
Yeah, I would say so.
Your favorite part of
It's
the...
kind of weird.
you mean
It's coming up. I'll let you know.
My favorite
I'll let
part
you
is the 3 warp prisms just sitting here together in a bundle because of F2.
That part was all right, but you're gonna there's a part coming up you're really gonna like.
Okay,
I promise you.
I'm ready.
It's not yet. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
just-
I'm
just
very
watching.
excited
I'm
about it.
watching.
It's just like so funny.
I'm just trying to observe and take it all in at the same time.
It's hard to take all in. I know.
I feel like my brain's getting larger.
It's certainly getting larger.
Nice. This is where you're... Just focus the base now, no?
Damn, those DTs.
Where the fuck are the overseers? There
He
they are.
does make good usage of DTs.
Beautiful storms. Wait. What was this force field? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was an interesting one, wasn't it?
It was a burrowed lurker, and he just threw down 1 force field, then never used the sentries again. He actually
Maybe
only
he
had,
thinks force fields do damage.
he only had enough energy for 1 force field, and that was it. Like, so far, though, I'm actually impressed that he loses. So, like, feels like Sue's taking
I'm
really
pretty
inefficient-
sure Sue wins, but I actually don't remember completely. I watched like so many PvZ replays before you came over, so
Well,
I could be
hope
wrong on this
Patience
one.
wins just because it'll be a great
He
testament.
beats Sue in the series overall, but it's a 2-1.
Look at these storms.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Just pressing T and clicking a bunch. Blanketing that army. Look at that fungal thing.
Damn.
Fungal
I like
growth.
the addition of the fungal. You don't really see that anymore.
It's because it's shit.
Is it now?
Well, I think that army would have cleared it up either way. Oh god, it's a zealot. Close
He's
fight.
back.
It's the same zealot from before.
Okay, so now he lost his entire army. Look at his army right now. 1 immortal, 14 stalkers. Okay? And see that all army hockey? I told you that's what that was.
Is this
Right?
what you wanted to
He's
point
just
out?
he's using no.
It went from 3
Here's
prisms
what
to 3 observers.
Here's my favorite part. See this? See that? I want you to guess how long that this gets mined like that.
No. Are we going to miss the entire game?
No, we'll just go back.
Okay. Are you shitting me? He has an immortal right next to it.
There we go. Okay. Anyways, it was a long time. It was a long
what the
time.
Fuck?
It's just amazing to see that you build the Nexus here and then you long distance mine it around.
Yeah, now we're doing
Okay,
this
so
fight again.
yeah, he loses the Immortals, right? And he's already started making Stalkers. Why is he making Stalkers there, I wonder? Like, I understand having the small group in your main base because they, you know, this is obviously a great drop map and he's kind of stopping that over and over, but this is a lot of Stalkers.
I'm just not smart enough, honestly.
I want to talk about how I think this could be cool in some ways, right?
Okay.
This map, I guess, like, look at it map specifically, right?
Right.
There's a lot of areas where stalkers might be able to abuse. Like, if you're
Yeah,
over here, right, you
sure.
can do that. You can get away super easily. There's so many, like, ups and downs where you can just blink over.
But he just saw infestors fungling shit. Like.
Oh, that's true. Well, the Infestor probably caught him off guard here. He probably had the strategy coming in. And
he's like, wait, what? That's in a unit still?
you could blink before with it. So there could be that mistake as well. I don't know. The stalker thing I find interesting, though.
Can we just take a moment to admire the prisms and then the fucking, like, every observer and their mother just came from all over the map because he just F2'd one time and now he's got all of his shit here. Like, there was probably...
They even made Observer Siege mode so this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, what the fuck? He just...
See, though, he's trying to utilize the Stalkers to harass there. Obviously, Stalker's not so good against Lurkers, though. They think they're going to get that? Jump. Oh, shit.
What the fuck was that stalker?
He was going back to harass.
One
Well,
stalker?
Look at this weird army of patience right now. 13 Stalkers, 13 Zealots.
I love the blink into the rocks, by the way. Like, he's right next to it. Just for shits and gigs, you know, like... Still...
The offensive blinks. Oh, you like that blink? Wait till you see this blink, right? So he's finally cleared... He's finally cleared the rocks to mine, right?
He's cleared the rocks.
Okay, let's slow this replay down a little bit. Now watch this, right? He's like, okay, I can finally mine from here with good efficiency. And now Sue is like, no, you can't.
Could you imagine if Sue came here when the rocks were down and he was long distance mining? I would, if this was me, I would just sit there and be like, I'm actually in an 18-minute long game. where my opponent is long distance mining this fucking gold base. Like, you just have to stop and admire the fact that this game has gone this long.
Yeah. So there goes all of his mining there. Look at this
I
army,
love
too.
Patience's decision making. He's like, fuck, my gold's under attack. Okay. We'll
It's time to kill another base.
Yeah. Oh, blinking in. Nice. No infestors die, but that's okay.
Oh, damn. Pig has rated us with a party of 1,861. Thank you, buddy.
We're actually just making fun of Patience.
Much appreciated. Yeah, well, that's so far. That's what we're doing.
What a great ringtone, by the way.
Thank you. I think it comes with the iPhone.
Thank you so much for the raid, by the way.
Yeah.
So
I
we were
appreciate
going
that, Pig.
over.
What's the difference between a raid and a host, by the way?
Raid is like okay, so host, you just like this changes into like them. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Right, but your chat stays the same. If you raid, your chat I think switches over or something.
Oh.
Yeah. So like,
Why don't you just always raid then?
You should always raid, I think.
Oh. I host people. I didn't even.
Yeah, now you know. The more you know.
Because
okay.
I don't know. Anyways.
This is. Wait, why is this even happening though? Too. Like if Patience was quick on this army would be dead. A couple storms now. Storms.
Yeah.
Storms. Okay, one storm goes off.
No,
Nice.
you got two. That was 2 storms. It was.
I think it was one.
It
But
was 2 storms.
I really don't like the stalkers, by the way. Like, they're
Well,
just shitty. Like,
it's so weird. It's so weird what they're doing here.
oh, that's a sick pickoff.
Yeah, look at that.
If he just had a better immortal army here.
Well, I feel like that was his only chance for the Stalkers to have values letting that finish, right?
That's true. Well, his base is still mining. That's
Yeah,
nice.
20 out of 12.
Is this with
With a lurker coming in. Yeah, that's siege, man.
Nice.
You like the Blink Stalkers now?
No.
No? Okay. I'm just going to keep checking in with you on that.
I like I used every storm there.
Now, I want you to watch very carefully about a Blink that's coming up here in a moment.
Oh, no. Please. I can't. My heart can't take it.
Okay, so he turns around into these lurkers.
Yeah.
And there were lurkers there, right?
Yep.
They're probably not there anymore. Let's go again.
Okay. So they're clearly still there now, right? We've confirmed
yeah,
they're still
are
there.
Okay, turn on.
Where
got
are my
the egg.
observers?
We got the egg, no problem.
Okay. Is he F2ing his observers? Oh, wait, he doesn't have any.
Watch this.
Wait, no, he has 3. Wait. This is
Okay, hold on. Ready?
I'm ready.
Watch this.
Wait.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
There we go. Go get him, boys. He doesn't even have the Nexus anymore. Go get him!
In what world would blinking 5 stalkers on the other side of this gold mineral line do anything? Like, is there 2 hydras over here? What is over here that you could possibly fight? All right,
He
I'm
was
ready.
chasing the lurker.
I'm gonna just zoom in. We're gonna follow these stalkers' journey on the other side of the gold rocks. You no! No, this is way worse than I thought it could have been. He blinks the 5 stalkers over, and then does he recall? Okay, he can't. He just. Why Patience? I wish I had him on. We need to. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, 2 stalkers, get out. Look, he's long distance mining again.
Look, man, he's looking for value at every moment. He almost got that lurker when he blinked over. He didn't know the whole army was still there, okay? And then he recalled, so he saved 2 of them. 2 out of 5.
I'm just going to go back. It's going to take us a while, but you know what? I'm having fun. Let's just watch his camera, what he sees and why he thinks it's a good blink. Nice. Everything's going well. We're doing good. Clearly,
I think it's because I think he thinks the whole army moves, truthfully.
but he knows it's not.
All right, slow it. Slow it, slow it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Right, he comes down. The Nexus has died. There's a single lurker. Pops out. Runs away.
He's like,
He thinks he can go get it. And then he's like, oh, shit, I can't. And then he recalls. That's how it went down.
He just thinks there's a random lurker just sitting there by itself. That was the most adorable blink ever. I'm just going to start. If I ever play Patience, I'm going to leave 1 lurker right here, and I'm going to leave my entire army over here and wait for him to blink over. Like, you set little Patience traps up. What a guy. I love how Sue sees 2 cannons. He's like, nope. He just backs up immediately. Like, what would
This is something I appreciate about Cannon, or about Patience in particular. He builds more cannons, both defensively and offensively, than almost anyone. He likes the cannon, right?
He does.
He puts them in his main. He puts them in expansions. There's like a bunch of tournaments where, like in PvP, if you're going to attack him on 2 bases and he's ahead, he just starts building cannons as naturals. He said, "Screw shield batteries. That's garbage.
Yeah.
Shield batteries don't even shoot."
That's true.
Anyways,
Why would you build a shield battery when you build a cannon?
Exactly, for only 50% more money. Look at the
If
four
he was
observers.
classic, instead of building all those shield batteries, you should build like 30 cannons. Yeah, those observers were sick, by the way. He had four observers before this fight, guys. He was not going to lose his observers in this fight. He sends all 4 of them forward, and Sue picks off 4 observers.
It's F2A, man. Never use it.
I use it. I don't never have this shit happen to me. It's like you just
You play
double-click and pull them
Zerg.
back. No, I play Protoss. I have too.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, Protoss is easy, man.
Clearly not. This is like the 5th immortal. The 5th one that's been misrallied. I hope he doesn't see that. I love you, by the way, if you ever watch this, Patience.
I actually really like Patience as a player.
Yeah, we like you as a
Seems
player.
like a nice guy, too. I don't really know him, but...
I can just imagine if he didn't do all this
I'm fascinated with his play, again, because he's like a Haas for me, where I don't understand why he wins so much, because I see so many things that I personally deem as not that strong. Like this Blink Stalker switch he did. Like, what does... Ooh. This Blink Stalker switch he did, for instance, right? Where I'm like, is this... What was the meaning of it? Did it do what it needed to do? Was it good?
Right.
I'm not entirely sure. Like, I liked a few Blink Stalkers in the main. I thought that was kind of neat because of all the drops that were occurring.
Right.
I like, especially when games get scrappy, Blink Stalkers can be really useful. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. That's why we're watching it.
Get it.
Damn.
I actually don't even mind this position from Patience, by the way. Like, this sucks. But before this happened, actually, it's 170.
Well, he's
supply.
barely
Where the
mining
fuck
right
is
now.
Where's the army? Like, this army does not feel that good. What are the upgrades? 2,
19
3?
roaches.
3,
That's
1.
why.
Yeah, that's...
19
so
roaches,
this
18
this
hydras.
is a big part of his army,
53
too.
lings. Yeah.
It's actually almost as good. No, not quite, but... This is a lot of storms, so, you know, it's always possible. Look at this Archon. That poor bot, whatever it was, it just got annihilated. He needs to chill on the T button sometimes here. Okay, he's really fucked now. If he could have just gotten up this Nexus and not had to deal with the shit on the other side, he would have been fine. Wait, what? When did this happen?
I don't know. I love the recall, though.
Recalling out
He
3
really
zealots.
uses recall more than
No,
anyone,
it's good.
man.
It's good, though. You should be.
Yeah. Especially this late in the game. You don't need Chrono for anything at this point.
It's true. Yep. GG.
So you see, yeah, he did
Incredible
lose that
game.
one. It's such a strange game because it felt like he was doing very, very well with a lot of his moves.
I mean, he was
where
trading
he
really
just,
efficiently.
Yeah, he kept taking out bases. The Blink Stalker switch was the one that was really bizarre to me because he's playing against like Roach Hydra Lurker, which I would consider pretty countering that.
Yeah, it does. The best part is he killed the Great Spire, which is the one thing the Stalkers are okay at dealing with. Not even
Yeah.
great, but like they're
Like,
okay at.
I think that Blink Stalkers are very good in low number, like basically small engagements. The bigger
squads.
the engagements get, they just get so crappy, you know? I don't know. Like, is that why he lost the game? Was all the Blink Stalkers that he was putting money
Well, I
into?
mean, like he went into Blink Stalkers and then he went back into the this army, which is definitely way better.
But like, what did they help him? What was that? What was that transition? Was it like? I feel like the idea was harassing this base, maybe, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
can do that
sure.
with your Immortal Archon and Storms and stuff too.
They don't blink though.
They don't need to blink. We haven't seen him utilize blink.
Yeah, I don't
very
know.
well.
I don't know.
I don't think we can look into it honestly.
It's hard to say.
It's either we just don't understand. We're just not, we haven't
We're not of the level.
developed that level. Yeah.
The level required here. So yeah, it was an interesting game though, right?
Yeah, it was very
That's a good
interesting.
one. Let's take a look at what else we have here. Oh yeah, okay, so that was
We
okay.
did that.
yeah, that was an extra game that we didn't have in this folder. But this was the longer one. You want to go into that?
Yeah, sure. We've got time.
Yeah, no, we're only an hour and a half in.
Nice.
Okay.
This has been a fun day.
So, guys, we're not done patience yet. This wasn't actually intended.
We should just scrap all today's analysts. It's just patience.
Yeah, this is patience day.
This is patience day.
The Serral INnoVation game was really quite nice, and then we saw that Spire game that you hated.
It was bad.
And
sure.
now we watched 2 patience games. But actually, this last game that we're going, well, I don't know if it'll be the last. It just matters how quickly we go through it.
Yeah.
But wait.
Don't say your password out loud.
Like, oh,
I do that sometimes.
How do you spell my child's name and her birthday?
Yikes.
So, you want to steal my StarCraft 2 account? Go ahead. Well, to be fair, I have all the skins. So
Yeah, I would do that.
yeah, that's pretty legit, I guess. Okay, so this last game, we actually had prepped for last week, but, I mean, we run long on everything. We always prep more replays than we have time to do. This game is going to be, it's a patience game from, this was Alima League Winter Finals, I mean March Finals, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Again, cheers to Alima League. And it is Fantasy versus Patience Game 5. So they were pretty deep, or obviously they were in the finals, the March Finals, which is best of fives and stuff. And yeah, so Patience versus Fantasy, this is their 5th map. It's a pretty crazy game on year 0. And the reason why I wanted to bring this out is because we've been seeing a lot of TVP lately. We've gone over quite a bit of TVP. Obviously, we've seen Maru doing TVP and stuff. And, you know, it feels like we have a very decent understanding right now about what you're supposed to do from the Protoss side and the different ways. And I think that Classic actually really mixed it up on the King's Cove game, where he skipped Colossus altogether and went mass Tempest. Like, that was very cool last night. You know the game I'm talking about?
The Tempest game wasn't King's Cove, but yeah.
No. I'm talking not the Tempest Rush, but the mass Tempest late game.
Yeah.
He had, like, up to 15
he was looking
Tempest.
great until he got dropped, honestly.
Yeah, it was like...
We were talking about this. If he had a pylon, like, the game would have been, like, way better, a million times better. You just had no vision on that.
Yeah, Maru was, like, killing bases with, like, 2 Marauders and a Marine and stuff because all of the supply for Classic was out front. Yeah, and it was almost all Tempest, which was a very interesting take. Whereas when we've talked about it in the past, and normally like the Need Maru game, specifically from episode 1, where it was like you use Colossus to zone the Ghosts, and then you use Storm to zone the Vikings, and then you use Tempest for everything else, kind of. That feels like the more normal late game, and then Classic has that other one, which
it's like
I'm
Tempest
very interested
Templar,
in.
which is similar, but like you use a Templar to zone kind of like similar to the Colossus, but at the same time it's actually more fragile because EMP.
Yeah.
But like Colossus, at least if they get EMP, they still swipe.
Yes, no, exactly. They definitely do their job still. Okay, so those are... Again, so let me try to layer my thoughts here correctly, because I'm kind of like mumbling over myself trying to get this idea out there. So we have like the kind of standard way that Neeb did it. That is the way that I think is overall considered the strong way. That's what we normally see in very endgame PvT. Yeah. And then Classic brought that new way, which was very refreshing to see yesterday, and it was a really cool way to play.
Yep.
This game, Patience versus Fantasy, goes quite long. It's year 0, as games normally do here. And Patience plays a very different style. He's actually going to go into Sky Toss.
Okay.
Straight up Sky Toss.
Right.
Air Toss, whatever we're calling it. Let's take a look. It's an interesting game.
Yeah, Air Toss has a lot of weaknesses, honestly. Like,
right?
There's not
like Vikings, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some decisions made here. And again, this is why I actually am so fascinated with Patience. And I swear to God, I have been for years. When he started getting top 4 in SSL every season, I was like, who is this guy? What is he doing that's making him good? And I went through and rewatched every one of his games back then, trying to figure out what it is that he's good at.
Right.
And I have a hard time doing it, but he's good and he wins. So yeah, anyways, we'll watch this and we can get into those parts where it's like, why is this what you're doing? You know?
Yeah, I mean after last game too, just like my brain. Can't really handle all this.
You didn't know how many Patience games we were going over today, did you?
I'm glad. I'm pleasantly surprised that today's Patience Day.
Yeah. It wasn't planned like this, actually. It just turned out to be.
Yeah, this is good. So, TVP. I'm interested to see it develop because I feel like we have been watching really standard, like, TVP developing. Like, it kind of develops organically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you start out with the Colossus to defend, but you kind of retain them throughout the game.
Yeah.
You use the Colossus long enough to get out Tempest, right? And at the same time, they're going out to Ghost. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of just an organic late-game composition. So when you go into Sky Toss, it doesn't really feel the same way, right?
No, yeah. It's
like you're skipping a step somewhere.
He does skip a step in here that we'll end up getting to see. And what he has for like an end game composition, what Fantasy ends up going for, it gets very interesting. And I don't feel that either of them makes perfect choices with the way that they are playing at the end, but they both play it pretty well, I would say. I
love the sentries, by the way. Sentry's so important. I as soon as I built sentries in PvT, I went up like 300 MMR. Like, the hallucination is just so sick.
Yeah, it's pretty important.
We'll probably see it. I'm surprised we haven't seen it yet. I guess he already has vision of everything so far. But yeah, the biggest thing for hallucination is to make sure you're not being Hellion dropped or Hellion harassed, because Hellions just end the game. You don't know they're coming.
Yeah.
That's also why you build this pylon, because you can wall off if he is going Hellions, but you don't want to do it unless
so
he is,
important,
right?
So important. Well, the thing is that the pylon, that has to be your second pylon if they're doing 4 Hellions direct in, because that is, you only have 2 pylons before that hits. So anytime that I don't see the second pylon there, I get very confused, because you're actually just kind of gambling. You don't know. And then I see so many Protosses lose the game at that point.
He wanted to be cute. He's like, I'm gonna shut off this with the. What did it? He went off with 3 probes.
It hit. Well, I think it killed 1 probe actually. I'm pretty sure.
We don't have to go back, but I'm gonna watch it.
No, we should. We should. It's okay. Here comes the drop. Okay, target's at.
Does a pretty good job of not losing all this shit.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that was a little bit indecisive there. Okay, that's 1 probe.
Okay, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna use hallucination.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
That's funny. Okay. Well, I mean, it still did the minimal damage, right? 3 probes is about as little as it gets, unless you use hallucination.
Yeah, I mean, you kill the mines, it's fine.
Oh, Fantasy's doing this. This is like how Maru played, actually, on this map. Wonder if it's a year 0 specific thing. So it's
well, I think when you have all that dead
here.
airspace, it's always reasonable at least. Oh! Ooh. My little Protoss heart really.
You should have in your sound, if they had the technology in your sound pack, your voice pack, as soon as a mine's about to go off, all you hear is, oh! And then you look back and all your shit's dead.
It's my grade A quality commentary right there. Oh! I actually feel scared here. I don't like it when probes die to Widow Mines.
That's what I love about Widow Mines. You either lose everything or nothing. Or sometimes you lose a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes you lose like
middle,
more,
and sometimes you lose less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's pretty big range there actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean he's going blank into Colossus, third base. Everything looks fine and cool.
Yeah, he's actually going into Colossus, which is surprising. So he's not skipping the Colossus step. I guess he skips the Templar. Oh my god.
9 probes.
What am I watching right now?
You're watching a master ply his trade.
Tell me that doesn't go off. Okay. Actually, it would have been bad for him. All these SCVs on top.
So he loses 9 probes during this, and then he loses a bunch of stalkers on the other side. That did not seem like a good blank.
It's not. Yeah. Oh, that was nice. He's not doing bad, though. He's kind of putting on the pressure, too, so he's not going to die anytime soon, right?
Yeah. And he's going to have Colossus out. So
yeah, he's chroning that out.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, so when we're talking about skipping steps, clearly he's skipping the Templar step, unless he adds it on. Usually when you add on the Templars, you just go into Tempest. It feels smooth, right? But if you skip Templar, actually, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think the best way to play this matchup, to be honest, is go blink, get a Prism, go into Colossus tech, go into Templar tech, and then just nail getting Tempest out before Liberator range is done. Right. That's like the last thing you have to look for, and I think that you basically have a complete army, and that's. And then I think that is like overall the best way to play this matchup.
Then we get the game of Neve versus Maru, right?
Exactly.
That's literally where Neve versus Maru develops into.
Yeah, and I think that is.
And they both played it like masterfully, right? Like neither player made any proper mistakes that game in the fights.
Yeah, if you want to be good at a macro game as a Protoss player, I think that's exactly how you should play. But it's so cool to see some of these guys develop a completely alternative style, like what we saw from Classic again last night, and here this game is definitely quite different. So Fantasy's kind of taking a bit of a macro approach. He is
Do you have
playing
armory?
quite a bit like Maru in this game.
Huh.
Wait, hit T?
What's the tech lab for? Unless he's getting the armory or the widow mine upgrade, right?
Oh, yeah, it might be.
Unless
Yeah,
he's
he doesn't
adding on
have an
tanks
armory,
too.
man.
Yeah, the armory's weird that it's not existing, especially because he's finished 1-1 already.
Yeah.
This is something we were talking about with Maru, where he always hits
Second
the 2-2
fact.
timing. Second fact, okay. Like 2-2,
Yeah.
there's no reason why it's not going right now.
No, it's I remember I paused the game. I'm literally like, guys, look at this. Notice how the armory's lined
we
up
talked
with
about
1-1
this.
finishing.
There's the armory now.
Yeah, so like that's definitely a big mistake because he had 1-1 done before Patience had +1. So he could have had
2-2 already.
2-2
done.
Yeah, just about half.
Actually, could have hit like maybe a sick 2-2 timing if he had done that.
I mean, upgrades are so important. Especially you're taking a third base. It's like just nail that, nail it. All right, so see this second Robo and a Stargate on the way. So completely skipping any Templar tech.
Which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's doable.
It's doable.
But it's a
actually
little
not,
bit scary.
It's not terrible against what Fantasy's doing because he's getting double Tech Lab Factory. So obviously he's planning on making a ton of siege tanks. Siege tanks are actually very good against Templar. Like,
That's true. That's true.
but Colossus not really that phased. So as long as you don't fight
Well,
into them,
Yeah.
like Classic did. You don't do what
And he-
Classic did, then you're fine.
He is getting the drilling claws.
He stims his army. He's like, I need that observer. Oh. Okay, that was not great, but yeah, I mean, Fantasy looks in a great spot so far. He's
Right?
getting drilling claws.
The only thing he's really messed up this game is the
2-2.
armory timing,
Yeah.
I think. And I think that was just an honest mistake. Like, he just forgot it, is
I agree.
what it looks like. Like, I don't want people in the chat or comments being like, no, he couldn't afford it right there.
You could,
No,
yeah.
no,
you,
no.
You just stop building one tank.
It's
and
more
you can
important to
afford
have your 2-2 about to finish right now
Yeah.
than whatever you think is important, guy
it.
in
You
the
literally
chat.
could skip one tank and get 2-2. So.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at the resources. Yeah, he didn't have enough, but he also just didn't have a fucking armory. Like,
So look
Okay.
at this, right? He's
Yeah, so
getting into disruptors. I like the observer speed. That's kind of cool.
disruptors are really cool. I'd like more Protosses to do this. Were we talking about it, or was it me and somebody else? Were we talking about Colossus into disruptor?
You
Was that
weren't.
you or me,
I
or was
didn't talk
Sasha
about
and
this
me?
with you.
I can't remember.
No, it wasn't me. It must have
Might
been
have been
Sasha.
Sasha. Yeah, this. is
Well, what
actually
do you
pretty
think
strong.
about it?
This is
Talk
pretty
about it with me now.
It's very strong.
You talk about StarCraft with other people? I don't know if I
I'm-
can accept this in a relationship right now.
I'm sorry, I thought it was an open StarCraft relationship.
It's not. You're only allowed to talk about StarCraft with me.
It's very good, right? Because you use the Colossus to zone, and then if they ever come forward, you can throw out disruptor balls, right?
Like, do you like just a couple disruptors?
I
or?
just like a couple. If you build too many,
Yeah.
they're pretty shit. So I like the heavier Colossus count. This is more so that, like, if shit goes, hits the fan, you don't just die. Like, the thing with the Colossus army, when you don't have Storm, you don't have that zoning thing. If they, for example, if you don't have that thing that stops them from coming into you,
Yeah.
these Colossus fucking die immediately.
Yes,
They
yes.
die so fast if the bio was here.
And he doesn't have any tanking units here at all.
Right.
So that makes the disruptor
like-
so much more important. Like, if you don't have zealots or adepts here to eat up
Exactly.
marauder shots,
This is the
your
tanking
army
thing.
will die.
So, like, I've got the thing on.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to do now. Wait.
I'll see.
Okay.
There you
Do I have to do it again?
Yeah.
So, if you have disruptors here, like no disruptors, if the army comes in, like into you, and there's no proper barrier, like he's got what 3 force fields, this army just melts away.
Yeah.
But the disruptors will always stop that, right?
Yeah.
That's why you do that, unless you're going Templar, in which case you don't need to, because Templar.
They
will
do the same thing,
right.
basically. It softens everything
So
up
this is
so
just
much.
like the Templar alternative without getting a Templar archives, basically, which allows you to do what he's doing now, right? He's building more disruptors than I would normally, but I think 4 is probably max. Once you get more than that, it actually just...
Well, the actual comp he's going for here, this is not a Colossus army. Like, he got 2 Colossus early on, and I think that it's always good to have a couple Colossus early on in the game because they just kind of keep you alive against any attacks that come.
Right.
But if we actually look at his actual units, he's not going for any sort of standard army. This is actually closer to a Blink Disruptor army than anything else.
I agree.
And it has a couple, like, again, I think the Colossus were to keep him alive, and then he's like, okay, now I'm going to get into this other comp.
We talked about this with Maro Neep. It's like steps, right? Like you want to keep surviving certain phases of the game for both players.
Yeah.
And you need Colossus to survive a certain mid-game push, like a 2-2 timing or something. And, Fantasy also is doing the same thing, that he's trying not to die to random stuff as well. So, yeah. It's interesting to see this develop. At this point, still, I feel Fantasy's in a sick position, though.
Oh, I definitely like his position a bit more, and I find that this, like, I like Blink Disruptor overall as a comp. I think it's pretty cool, but I like it in the mid game. I don't Like at this stage, the fact that this is basically what his army is.
Normally, you'd probably want to max and then go for some push where you trade out some of your shitty units and then go into the Sky Toss or whatever, right? But like right now, he's just heavily on Stalkers.
Well, he's actually holding 2 parts of the map right now, right? So he's got an army up to the north, and he has some stasis wards there. He's holding the Watchtower. I guess he might be going to join them up right now, but this is kind of an interesting way to play, too. I didn't actually notice this the first time watching this.
Yeah, it's nice that he plays really far forward, too. He doesn't have time to see everything. He's doing a much better job of, like, seeing the map than even Classic was in the last series on King's Cove. Like, yeah, he just has full vision of anything coming towards him. There's no reason not to be out here. You've got Stalkers you can blink out of anything that comes towards you.
It's quite a mobile comp, and, like, he can't chase you down because of the Disruptors as well.
Like, that would be sick to blink on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't think Patience can ever push the, the envelope or whatever the kids say. Like,
yeah, no, not against this. Especially with Blink Disruptor. That's one of the worst at actually going in and killing someone, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really great defensive.
Yeah.
That's probably why we see it, though, too, because he's just massing up the upgrades. Like, we haven't even seen very many Tempests, but he's getting, like, that late-game comp he's going for it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't see, like...
full upgrades on the way and everything. Second Cybernex core, obviously.
Second Cyber. So, like, this is really good. This is one of the strengths of Blink Stalkers, actually, is, like, being able to deal with this shit. Is he going to throw a ball out? Is he going to?
No, you can't catch that. Now he sees Tempest.
Yeah, but that's why I'm surprised it wasn't thrown out, because that seems like such a Patience thing to do.
He blinks onto it as it blows up. So, at this point, what is Fantasy thinking, right? Like, he already had started more starports, and he was already kind of getting into more Liberators and everything. But now he sees that it's Mass Blink Stalker, some Disruptors, and Tempests. So that is a very interesting thing, because normally the Tempests are going to be what you siege in with, like what you break down their defenses. But, like, this army isn't good at finishing.
No,
what are you going to do, blink forward after you kill Liberators? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I like what he's doing. He does need to trade out the Stalkers for better units, though. Like, he's maxed, right?
Well, don't forget that he had killed a bunch of bases a bunch of times against Sue and then switched into Blink Stalkers. So I think it's just a unit that Patience really likes to use at any stage of the game.
Maybe he watched Alpha Star and he's like, I can do that. Oh, same mine. Oh, my God.
Drilling Claws. Good upgrade. That's funny, too, because he actually... Oh, my God. Yeah, because he uses... F2 a lot.
He does.
But he got Observer Speed this game. If you are an F2 user, Observer Speed is not an upgrade for you. So I'm a little bit confused. He maybe shouldn't get it.
The man himself just blinked into a tank.
Look how many Stargates he's building.
He's building them at his third, too.
I love it. I love it. So how many is that total? 6?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Incredible.
He's getting his Plasma Shield upgrades. Do you know those are for buildings and flying units and ground units? Oh, my God.
They're great. This is like the worst fight I've ever seen.
It's pretty bad.
But hey, look, it's the Disruptors.
Yeah?
Like, if he didn't have these, he'd just be dead right now. Like, this game would be over.
Woo,
Fantasy
nice hits,
tried.
nice hits.
Fantasy tried too hard there. You should just backed up. This is what it's like to be Patience, by the way. This is the Patience FPV. Look at that. We're starting up 4 Tempests. Oh, look, he scanned my army.
6 Tempests are building.
Click, 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 click. Oh, click.
6 Tempests.
6 Tempests.
And DT Blink on the way. What a game.
He's chronoing them. What a game.
Guys, there's empty.
That is an annoying voice pack.
I can't believe
God.
he plays with Diva.
A lot of players did when it first came out. Like, I was watching INnoVation stream and even he had it on. I'm like, what?
Yeah, why, though?
That's not right.
Are they just really into or Overwatch?
Mm.
I don't know either. I guess Diva is Korean, right?
And a StarCraft champion, right?
Nope. An esports champion.
Oh, well.
They reverted that. I don't know why, but they did.
Yeah.
Patience takes the worst possible fights I've ever seen in my entire life, by the way.
He does take a lot of bad engagements, but, like,
And
why?
still wins somehow. So what the fuck?
That is the question. Like, he's doing something fantastically, and we can't really figure it out too easily, I guess. Now, look, he's going into carriers from here. This is what really kind of made me very interested in this game. If he had just finished it off with, like, the unit comp we've already seen, I probably wouldn't have grabbed this replay. But I think carriers in general against Terran, like against Terran
Yeah.
that's going like Sky Terran plus Bio. Like if it's against Mech, hell yeah.
I mean, it's funny
make
because
them.
he's doing the same thing that the other army compositions do, but he's doing it a different way, right? Like the disruptors are kind of like similar to Colossus Templar, right? Stalkers are also kind of a zoney unit. He still has the Tempest.
Yeah.
It's just like a weird version of the same thing, and I'm not surprised knowing Patience. But he's trying to do his own Patience version of late game. I'm not sure about carriers, though. I feel like carriers don't really have much of a place in this matchup. But maybe I'm wrong, so I'm ready to see me, you know. I guess with upgrades, though. Oh, that's not the upgrades,
I mean,
though.
their damage output is
Yeah.
awesome.
With carriers with upgrades are insane.
Yeah, he's got +3 already for flying units, right? Pretty
Maybe.
sure. Itchy. Yeah.
That's the fastest +3
Yeah,
air
seriously.
weapons ever.
Would have been even faster without that nerve.
Damn. They literally hit Patience hard with that one. The only man to get +3 attack that fast. So,
Okay, so look at this army.
yeah, this army's not very graceful.
Let's look at the unit tab.
The fuck is this? 2 Templar, 2 Colossus, 1 Sentry, and then this army.
I love it. 11 Stalkers out there somewhere. Ah, there they are.
But you know how many mines he's ran into? Oh, look, he's
Well, it's so funny. Right, oh my god, that
Is he gonna lose it?
no,
Nope.
just barely.
What a god.
He has 7 observers. He has 7.
Well, he just F2'd them. They're all coming from everywhere now. Yeah,
Well,
they're-
he's finally starting to siege them up some, so that's good. But
yeah.
the amount of mines he's running into, I feel like that shouldn't happen. When you have
Patience
7
MMR went
speed
up, like,
observers.
600 when they released the siege ability. He just like starts winning tournaments. Like, wait, what?
That was
Protoss
the
is
thing that was really
strong?
wrong with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so EMP just nailed all that. Look at this army just get
It's
shredded.
so shitty. Again, he's taking the worst fight ever. Please tell me he doesn't win this game.
He wins this game.
Why do you do this to me, man? We do a show where we're supposed to be in-depthful, and then he takes literally the shittiest fights. He has a terrible army composition, and he still wins. Like,
So what's he doing that's so good?
I don't know.
Why does he win?
I don't know. Do you know?
I don't. That's why we're looking at it. I want to know.
Okay, let's keep
I
watching.
wanna
We'll
understand.
see what he can do.
Because he's making this air army, and then his opponent is like, hey, I have 20 Vikings. And then he just starts killing the air army.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
And
a
you
good
watch.
army.
I'm sure that he's going to run into a Widow Mine in a second here with this army again.
He's finding ways to do it. Oh God, not the starports or the stargates. If this nuke was just right here, that would be rip production.
Does
Oh
he
my
hit the
God.
nuke? You got to go back. You got to go back.
Chill, I got this.
Whoa!
I'm a professional observer, man. I know what I can look at.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, the carrier upgrades are insane. Clearly, this is what he wanted to do the entire game, right? Like, he was upgrading that shit before he had any air units. And the mobility of this... Actually, you know what? There's really good synergy with what he's doing, right?
Okay, why, though?
So, synergy right now is he's got a clunky main army. The Colossus, almost every clunky unit, slow clunky unit is here, right? Units you need to baby, units you need to be making sure that nothing gets on top of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
This army, however, you don't look at it, it's going to be okay. You can blink back, you can shoot balls, whatever. You're going to lose some pretty cheap units overall.
Mm-hmm.
If he jumps on this army, the game ends. You lose this army, that's like 2k gas, you know, or minerals. That sucks, but not the game ending. But the big thing is this has sustainability. You can get out. You can blink, you can shoot balls, whatever. So you have this main immobile kind of like positioning army, and then you've got your harass. I'm not going to make it easy for you to expand everywhere, but I'm going to do expand everywhere as well kind of thing. So that's why there's
like keeping the pressure versus what is the purpose of the air army though? It's like
Well,
every fight it's taken, it's
the main
lost.
fight.
It's
This
like
is supposed to be the main
it
fight.
it
anyways.
almost feels to me like what he's done here is this army
It's to force Vikings.
is yes, right? Like you make this army. And, I mean, it's got these sick upgrades, and if you don't take this army seriously, you will lose the game. You absolutely will, so you must counter this army. Look at the army that Fantasy actually has. 24 Vikings, 7 Liberators, 9 Ghosts.
Yeah, it's pretty shit against Stalker Disruptor overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, he's forcing Fantasy into an anti-air army.
I feel
And
like
then
this
he's
is a
got-
bit of a fantasy fuck-up, though, to be honest.
For sure, I would say. Well, what would you go unit composition-wise in this game? If you could
I feel
take
like
over the
Fantasy
controls.
could make more tanks.
You're making tanks against Tempest carrier?
Yeah, even when Maru was playing, he had tons of tanks for like positioning. Like it stops the Stalker Disruptor from ever jumping on you. When you're like, I mean, tanks. I don't want to. I would stay away from Bio because storms. If storms come back in, like they can be really annoying, and he has been building them.
But the longer the game goes, aren't you going to be in a worse position?
Not necessarily.
If you're playing like as the Terran player, right? You're like you have siege tanks, and he has all these air units. Like as soon as he
well,
actually,
I'm not saying max on tanks, but a couple would be nice. Like if we had 3 tanks like spread out around here, just to keep him honest and not have him be able to do as much with this army.
Okay.
And then you go really heavy on the anti-air. So the idea is if Patience ever does fight into you, wipe him on the anti-air completely, right? And then you also have enough that you're not going to get blinked on and lose all your Vikings or whatever.
Well, certainly his comp has to be a little bit off right now. And he's not maxed out or anything. He has room for some more units. Let's see what he's actually making.
What is he spending it on? He feel like he just has this buffer of like no units right now.
He has a bit of
7 Vikings.
Yeah, right. So
look at my star.
It's like he's too afraid of this army because he has 23 Vikings. So he's going to go up to 30 Vikings, which obviously will clear that army. Is that a war prison with Archons in it?
Yes, it is. We can't. We'll be here all day if we try to figure out why the fuck there's a war prison with
Where is it?
It's not even in the right matchup.
Where is it?
It's right here.
Why? Why is it?
I don't know. We can't.
What are we looking at here?
We'll actually be here all day if we try to figure out why the fuck there's a prison with 2 Archons in it in this army.
They're good against stacked Vikings.
Yeah, you're going to fly a prism in and drop your Archons
well,
on the Vikings?
not that. Not that.
Jesus.
My God.
Okay. But yeah, this Viking army actually could take this right now.
Yeah.
If they fought.
The Viking army beats this. Okay, here they come. Here they come.
You're right.
Damn.
He's like, fucking Christ.
Get out of here. Archon drop in PvT.
Look at how fast these Vikings pieced out. They saw 2 Archons.
Oh,
like, nope.
shit.
Like, max Skyatos army, I got this. 2 Archons.
Oh,
Fuck, we're out of here, man.
Yeah.
Nice wall, by the way.
Those Archons are actually, this is so funny. Yeah. This almost reminds me of PvP Phoenix versus Phoenix. Where there's like a ground unit and you're like, oh shit, it's an Archon.
The gentleman's game has been broken.
Yeah.
Nice Archons. Yeah, okay, so why, how the fuck does he just not die right now?
Well,
yeah, he's a recall. He's going to have to recall.
Is he, though?
Yes. He literally kills all of his zealots, but you know what? That's fine. Oh, God, it's the Stalkers! What the fuck? Okay, so imagine he had like 3 tanks here, right?
Well, he had 1 tank there, but
it died.
He's made so many. I think he just way overmade Vikings. He didn't really know how to play against this comp that no one ever uses.
Patience Disruptors have killed more of his own units than anything else. I shit you not.
Probably.
Like, he shoots a bunch of Disruptors to kill the ghosts, and all the zealots are killing them. Kills all the zealots, right? And then he shoots a bunch of Disruptors at these ghosts and kills a lot of Stalkers. Like, what the fuck?
Quantity has a quality all its own. All right.
Oh my God. If you just drop the Viking, Disruptors though.
Yeah. He just, I think he over-countered.
He needed
the thing is, the Disruptors, I think he gave them almost too much power over himself. He could have made more bio overall against this, I think.
Yeah.
Because the only splash damage really was the Disruptors. Like, you can make more bio against this.
Yeah.
4 Disruptors doesn't preclude you from making
I agree.
Marine
I just feel
Marauder.
like I think bio's okay, but it still doesn't feel that great against Stalker Disruptor still. Like, this is actually still a pretty good army. What the fuck was that?
It's a move command, bro. Get on top of that. Look, he has so many Stalkers, they're not even firing.
Yeah. I love Patience Blinks. They're so great.
You know, he has the least fitting name of any player.
Yeah, that's true. I want to see what he's looking at. If he's looking at this, I'm done. Where is it? Okay.
Yeah, no, he's doing something else. He's waiting for the flank.
Looking at nukes and stuff. Trying to raise your APM.
Your forces are taking damage.
It's quite an accent on her.
Did you see that Disruptor? Oh, God.
No,
he just, like, shot a random ball over here. I don't know if it was, like, a vision disruptor
There's a bush there, man. You never know what's behind that bush. And look, now there's all these Vikings. It's like, yeah, you can clear the air army, but these Stalkers are not going to be stopped.
You just needed tanks. Tanks would have been the best, and a proper wall. Then you can clear, once you clear the air army, right? Like, you can, then that's when you go back into bio and heavy stuff, right? Like, you just need to, let's go back a little bit, and we'll talk about it real quick. before shit hits the fan, somewhere around here.
Thunder attack. Stay cool.
Oh wait, what? 20 minutes? Okay. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. So let's see what we've got army-wise. We've got 1 tank, 7 libs, 24 Vikings, right? So we can pretty much say that we will win the anti-air army right now, right? I think at this point we're already should be starting to try and deal with the Stalker Disruptor, or at least some form of ground army. It could have been Colossus, Zealot, it could have been anything, right? If it wasn't Stalker, as long as they shoot up, so I guess some Stalker Colossus would have been sick still, right? Didn't have to necessarily be Disruptors. But we only have 2 or 7 libs? Like, compared to Maru versus Neeb, there was like 15 Liberators or more, and there was tanks all the time.
Against mass air toss, you can't go for too many Liberators because they're countering that really hard. Both
But
carriers
it's not mass
and...
air.
Well, it kind of is. He's got 4 carriers, 5 Tempests right now. Like, that's... I mean, it's pretty big.
Not really. Like, there's so much more army here for in the ground.
There is a lot of army in the ground.
Like, he's been scanning. He has full vision of what the fuck's going on.
I definitely
right now.
agree that the unit comp is wrong for fantasy. That's like, that just has to be a given. This can't be the right unit comp where you have 30 Vikings and then, you know, their stalkers kill you in the late game. That can't be right.
Yeah, like right now, there's no reason for fantasy to be out here. I think he wants to kill the air army, but he doesn't have enough back home to not just die, right? Like, if he had, like, 10 tanks here and, like, a wall, I'd be like, yeah, do that, right? Because you're going to clear the air, and then you're going to go home, and you're going to build your anti-ground army. See those Disruptors killing all those Zealots? Sick. Absolutely sick. This is way too many. Way too many.
Yeah, it just is too many.
Like, this
I don't even know the
even
exact right number, but it's like you have 60 supply of Vikings there, right? Or wait, are Vikings 2 supply or 3 supply? Why don't I know that? NoRegret's like, I don't know either.
I don't want to look stupid. It's 2.
Yeah, I thought
I was
so.
going to say 3 is a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, now I remember why I got confused. I offered that as a troll when Mario beat Neeb at WESG.
Yeah. Are libs 2 or 3?
Libs? 3.
I think they're 3 too.
Yeah,
Let's check.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh. Tough questions
We
here.
we get to retain our jobs as StarCraft people. Woo!
It was
a
a
scary
close
one.
guys. We were about to retire.
Yeah. That was going to be that.
Fucking clips on Reddit. Like, Artosis and NoRegreT have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a misplay, mismanaged game. Like, I think Fantasy played the game way better than Patience in the long run. I'm going to be honest here. It's just that his army composition was just way worse.
Well, Patience forces people into these weird situations, and he makes a lot of army comps that don't make the most sense.
Yeah.
Like, he does a lot of adept timing attacks against roaches in you know, that matchup in PvZ. You know, we saw the switch to Blink Stalkers against Roach Hydra Lurker.
Right.
We saw this game where it was like 2 Colossus into Blink and Disruptor into Air Toss into Mass Stalker.
Look at how well that bit of bio actually did, though. You know what I mean?
Well, this
Look at
type of
the
army is
supply,
not supposed to work
Look
late
at the
game.
supply. You know what I mean? Like, after everything that's happened, he's trading so efficiently with bio, he just needed, like, a better anti-ground army and he would have won.
It's almost like part of Patience's game is to try to scare you.
Yeah?
Like, remember the Immortal in 3 Centuries that we, like, started the day off with?
Yeah,
right?
I do remember that.
It's like he just walks it out and it literally sits in a corner. You know what that was like? It's like that when the mob has a guy stand outside your store and just stare at you so that you know you have to pay your dues or whatever in the movies.
Right.
And that's kind of like, right? He's like, well, I'm going to make a bunch of carriers and Tempest. I'm like, are they going to do anything? No. They're just going to, they're going to get him to make the units I want to kill.
Right.
He's like, do you know what Stalkers can beat late game against Terran? I'm like, nothing. He's like, no. They can beat only Vikings.
They can be Vikings, yeah. The best part is if he just landed them, he would have won, but he couldn't because of Disruptors.
Yeah.
So they can't even beat Vikings, is what we meant to say. But
yeah.
Yeah, this was a good game. I think if Fantasy and Patience played another game immediately after it was the same thing, Fantasy would win it. That's what I'm trying to say, right? This feels like a one-off kind of army composition that kind of caught Fantasy off guard.
Well, it was such a weird... What happens if they make a better unit comp? I guess he's finding ways to abuse the unit comp. It kind of... He's almost playing this one like a Zerg player a little bit, where
yeah.
you can kind of
like
switch...
tech switching, yeah.
Yeah, the tech switches are a little bit more vicious. It's like, yeah, I have 6 Stargates, 2 Robos, and 10 Gates. Like,
right. Yeah, I agree. I said
20 gates. I'm sorry.
I like
So
it.
silly of me.
To give Patience credit though, that was the one way he could break Fantasy, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no way he was going to win the Sky Army.
No, it certainly was not going to work, and like that's not, I think, what his skill set is either. You know, you have to have
Yeah.
someone very precise with late game army movements, which is not him. He makes strong movements. That's like kind of how he plays.
His engagements are so fucking bad though. Oh my god, I don't know what it is with him and taking the worst possible engagements. Like he'll take it, he's losing it. He'll recall half, lose the other half. Like it just.
But he's good at getting a set of units that's very strong at certain times, I guess, right? Because
Yeah.
like when
he's good at that.
you look at his wins and he's like that game that you didn't like against Solar, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so dirty, right? Where it's like just adept immortal and he just walks in and it's like, wow, he has a lot. Look at that, he just beat him. Like he just killed the entire army here.
Yeah, I would say that from what I see so far, Patience has a really strong sense of timings in general. Like he hits
knows
the
when someone's
windows-
weak or something?
Yeah, he hits the windows that he can every time.
Yeah.
Like he may have shitty engagements in the middle or whatever, but he's assessing the army. He's assessing where he is and what he's doing, and then he counters that. So like he has a shitty engage where everything goes to shit, and you're like, oh my god, this guy's awful. But he's taking this time to contemplate how he can possibly win that fight. Comes at it again with a totally different army composition and just wins the game, right? Like I don't know if his goal was always to have Fantasy overbuild Vikings. Like I feel like it isn't. I feel like this is just on the fly adaptation.
Yeah.
To seeing like 30 Vikings, he's like, okay, I'm never gonna win the Sky Army. It's time to go Blink Stalker, right? And it worked. It did
Well, he
good.
already was going Blink Stalker a lot too, so it
Yeah,
was
it's
like
true.
very
He had
easy
his-
for him to.
He had his mobile army for the whole game, right?
And then obviously warped in more when he's like, oh my god, there's 30 Vikings. Like, what are you gonna warp in other than that?
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. But I think timings are always his strength. From every game we see that he wins, he hits a solid timing, right? It's never just like he's played the entire game better and he's not like a stats win. You know what I mean? Like a stats win is just
You look at stats when you're like, you deserve that.
yeah, you're a genius, right? Like stats plays so
Yeah,
passively
yeah.
and kind of lets everything flow out, and he just flows out as a better player. But Patience does not flow at all.
No, there's not flow. That is.
It's like if
that's
he was
good
a
way to
river,
put
he'd
it.
be flowing up, you know, like
Uphill.
up a hill.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
And that's even some of his strengths. You don't expect a river to flow up a hill.
Yeah.
You don't expect a fucking Blink Stalker max at 24 minutes when you've been building Sky Toss the entire game.
No, he's the guy that you like stab him with a sword and then he pulls the sword into his body and
And
then
it
jumps
comes
off
out
the
the other
cliff with
side.
you or something. You know what I mean? He's
No, yeah, the sword's in you, and he just pushes it through and picks it out on the other side, and then gets you. You know.
It's like we're both going to take a lot of damage this game. He brings you down to like his level almost.
Yeah, he has definitely a uniqueness to him. I almost want to say no other player has this vibe that Patience gives off.
Well, there's this general overall vibe where people kind of make fun of Patience. They make fun of True. They actually make fun of you.
Yeah.
They, in general, it's like aggressive players, timing players, Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I mean, all these players are actually very good. They're just doing something that frustrates the hell out of people because it is so hard to stop. Like, you look at the way that Patience plays, and you never look at it and say, that micro. Oh, that micro is so good.
Right.
That is never, ever something that you say.
It's never like either he had like a sick engagement where he planned it out and all that other shit, right?
Do you
It's
remember
always
the
just
game on
like,
All Arena where he lost with Blink Stalkers against regular Stalkers?
No.
In SSL years ago.
That sounds ridiculous.
Just to put this in perspective, he had Blink Stalkers against Stats, and Stats just out-microed him with Stalkers without Blink and killed him. And it was like, right? But that's the thing. That's like not his power. So I think that when you play like that, and it's like all these things that are easy for people to see, like micro or unit comps, like you can look at a comp and be like, that's a stupid comp, and then you get angry about it when you lose.
I feel like SOS actually has a bit of this essence as well. In a different sense, though.
It's definitely a bit different.
It's definitely different. There's no one there. I will never compare Patience to any Protoss because he just doesn't put 2 and 2 together. He's 2 and 2 is like 5 to him, you know. But it's also just so smart at the same time because no one expects 5 to be the answer, and he's like revolutionizing it, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting though. I think Patience has a ton of potential. If he actually cut out a lot of the bullshit, he'd be so much better too, though.
What do you mean by that?
Like some of the stuff he does is just bad. And it's objectively bad.
Like which ones though? Like what?
Like for example, not killing rocks on your gold base, like and long distance mining, blinking 5 stalkers over and losing them. Like there's just tons of situations. 3 warp prisms sitting next to each other. There's no big brain plays there. You know what I mean? They're just things you could have done to be even better. Like a lot of the engagements don't need to be so shitty too. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
he doesn't need to have his Tempest army flying out here by itself in a weird position where it doesn't have anywhere to retreat.
You know what? It
Like
goes,
when you
go ahead.
watch Neeb
Yeah.
play, every decision he makes with his Sky Army was methodically, done so that he has a retreat path.
Yeah.
We talked about this, right? Like when he's attacking here, it's so he can retreat back. Fucking Patience is just flying his shit over like brainlessly, not thinking about it, and it takes terrible fights in the middle of the map. When did we even see Neeb in the middle of the map? You know, like it was so rare.
Well, they couldn't be more different as players. Like, they almost don't even play the same race. But actually, I think this goes back to what you were saying, where he's very good at timings, right? Like, I think that this might be a decent way to look at him, where he forces the issue instantly. Like, this actually makes sense when you look at some of his poor blink forwards and some of his poor engagements. When it's time to go, he goes.
Yes.
Okay, and actually, this is a big thing in StarCraft, is being decisive. That is one of the most...
We will give Patience that. He's 100% decisive.
Yes, he's super decisive with how he plays, and hemming and hawing is the easiest way to lose a game. Like, it
agree.
is better to be decisive and not make the best choices than to make the best choices and be indecisive.
I
And
agree.
that's just a fact.
When you think Patience, you never, like some players, like Terran players specifically too, like they always have that battle of if you go back or if you just go for it. You know what I mean? If you're being attacked, if you're being dropped or something, Patience never fucking has that. You know, he's like, you're attacking me, you're fucking dead. And he just goes across the map. Like, you remember that PVZ where he was getting attacked at his gold and he just like, fuck it, I'm going to kill your base.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just like, he doesn't care.
No, and that's good, because sometimes we see players where it's like they start to get attacked, and then they start to go back, and they're like, oh, shit, that's not the right choice. And then they turn around, and it's like,
and you just
nope,
wasted all the time.
it would have been better to keep going. It would have been better to
come back,
never come back. You know, just like making a decision, going with it. This used to be a big thing talked about with like Zerg players, especially in StarCraft 1, is being decisive, because like you have that tiny window, right, to get your lings in or something. And it's like, you got to do it. You got to do it right now. Oh, you missed it. That's it.
Yeah, he's extremely decisive.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely probably his biggest strength. And to a fault to some extent, right?
Yeah, absolutely to a fault. Like, so many of his losses are just like, why did you blink there?
Yep.
You know, the patience blink that we saw at
Patience
Home
blink.
Story Cup, right? No one's ever going to forget that. But, like, that's something he does a lot. Like, we
Yep.
saw his blink to chase the lurker. That was so funny that we just laughed about forever.
Right.
But it's like, no, he's trying to kill the lurker. He's not hesitating.
Yeah, like look at these fights. You know?
Look at that. It's like one of the worst fights you could ever take. But
He
he's
just
like, I think
takes
I can
them.
do it. And he doesn't work. But it's like, okay, well.
So like if he didn't do this kind of stuff where he's extremely decisive but also methodical with his decision making, which is hard to do. This is what the best players do.
Yeah, that's where you get, like, a zest or something.
Yes,
you
that
know?
was a zest actually. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
It's like, if you gave him better micro and
Also, he needs to stop using F2 this much. To some extent, it's okay. And this is coming from me, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, even as a person who F2s a lot, I know when I'm F2ing and what's coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't leave Overseers here and then and not fucking siege them up if I'm going to use F2. But he brings his Warp Prisms. He brings his Observers. He misrallies his shit on the map. Like, Patience is one of those people, if you're playing against him, you know how, like, if you're playing Zerg, sometimes you just get the vibe that there's nothing in the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's one of those people.
Okay,
Because he's
yeah.
F2ing his fucking units from the wall and
No,
shit.
totally. That does make sense. But actually, this is, I think we're breaking some new ground right here with decisivity, or whatever, however you say this word in another way. But like the fact that he's decisive and F2 being used too much are actually close to each other. Because I think to myself, right? I'm like, I personally unbind F2, or I did for a long time, and then I put it back so I could find my War Prism and my Oracle in late game, right? Every now and then you're like, wait, I have an Oracle somewhere. Where the fuck is it?
Yeah.
But actually, when I think to myself, like, when would I want to use an all army? It would be like a moment where I'm like, oh, I have this tiny window to nail him.
Yep.
Right? And then you want to send everything, because
Everything.
it's like, okay, this is the decisive moment of the game where I can win.
Yep.
And when you look at it, like, that's maybe his whole game plan is to hit those moments. So F2 makes a lot of sense, because he's like, nope, I need full power here right now.
That's the
right?
same with me, too.
And actually, there's other players like this. The one that I always make fun of is Hero. Because the amount of times I have seen his observers and mothership cores back in the day fly into a base that he was no longer attacking, it's just too funny for me.
Speaking of Hero.
Right? But he is super decisive as well. He will just go kill you. He will nail his timings. That's the type of player he is as well.
That's true. Hero and Patience are very similar in that aspect. we need a hero day too.
We need a day for everyone, man. We're gonna have to keep this show going.
This is gonna be
even
sick.
past our 1-year April Fools.
Yeah, there's not enough days, man. I'm excited. Now we've got days of people. We
Yeah.
didn't think about that shit.
And this wasn't even properly done.
no, it just came impromptu.
This is just yeah. We're gonna have Patience Day next week too. It's gonna be great. I have so many Patience replays to go through. He plays like all the cups, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
There's so many replays of him.
Yeah. Patience is actually so scary because he could be so good. He could be so good. Like, he could be the best Protoss in the world if he played differently.
Well, he has some things about him that are really wonderful, but
Yeah.
then he has these other things where it's like, ooh, the
you know
micro's
what?
off.
Maybe
and
you couldn't. If you took aspects of Patience play and
Yes.
you were stats, then you would be the best Protoss
Well,
in the world.
this is the funny thing that we keep looking on stats, and like we just want to be like some sort of mad scientist and graft parts of other Protosses
Yes.
on him because he's like
If
the
you stick-
guy that could be perfect one day.
One Zest arm, one stats
Yeah.
arm, like or one stats brain, like fucking Patience arm on the right. You got a fucking SOS toe.
Yeah,
Like
he's got SOS's head on his shoulder or something.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
All right. Well, I think that we're probably done. Unless you want to continue.
Yeah, no, we don't really have any other replays prepped, and it's been just about 2.5 hours. But
Yeah.
this has been a really interesting day because we didn't come in with as much of a plan, but it actually turned out really nicely what we got to talk about here. And I feel like the mystery of Patience we're starting to solve a little bit, and maybe we can revisit that in the future if he has like a good run somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I think
yeah, that's
actually like I played Patience in the GSL qualifier when I qualified, like the second time,
Mhm.
and it was when he was first coming back. And there's like a huge night and day difference from then and now.
yeah.
He tried to one base Immortal in me.
One base.
One base. And I dropped Banelings on his sentries.
Oh, that's
And he
funny.
died. So, yeah. I'm extremely interested to see him develop. He seems to be playing. He seems to be in really good shape. He did qualify for GSL, right?
For GSL, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
in
in.
Super Tournament?
Did he make Super Tournament? Let me check real quick. Actually,
I don't
I
know.
wasn't sure.
This would be sick to see him playing both.
Yeah, Super Tournament starts Thursday, actually. That would be
Ooh.
nice to see him. Okay. No. Super Tournament.
2. Not that one.
Super Tournament 1.
There
There
you
we go. Okay. There he is.
He did. He
Dude, he
qualified.
does. He makes it into everything,
Nice.
so that's perfect.
Who does he play first?
Patience versus Hero. That's
Oh
going to be good.
My God.
That's going to be good.
Patience versus
That's going to be
Hero.
a quick day, that one.
That is so sick.
Solar SOS Deer Zest Hero Patience Sue Classic. Yeah, that's going to be a fast day.
Mario
I'm going
versus
home early
Stats.
on Friday night.
What the fuck, man? We're going to have to poison
Oh, I
one
know.
of you
Isn't that
guys.
crazy? Isn't that crazy?
This is the sickest day ever.
God, we got to get the replays from that event.
Yes. Please. Hero versus Patience. This is going to be sick. All right. But yeah, I think we're done here. We've had
Yeah.
a good day.
Yeah,
Thank you
we
so
have.
much for the support, by the way, guys. We actually got some donations.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Flying above with the $10 donation and all mages tum.
All mages, Tom. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very, very much for that $150 donation. We really appreciate that. So yeah, I think that is about it.
Yeah.
Thank you once again, NoRegreT.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great show. Guys, we do this each week. We'll be back next week. Same time. We're going to make sure to get the word out there, help us to spread the word about In-Depth. It goes up onto YouTube at Artosis TV on YouTube. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So thank you everyone for watching.